understandable. But let's see what Toho and Quicker will be taken away or protecting. That's going to be the concussion from Quicker.
Okay, so concussion taken away. It does have the real advantage, of course, of forcing almost a flashbang ban you would expect. But no, Toho is going to be removing Scythe. It's good to see Specialist getting taken away from this one. On Hardpoint, can't really explain why Scythe of all the Specialists was taken away. Ah, there you go, Purify in response.
Yeah, Purifier and Scythe. So 2 weapons taken away. What's that going to do? Is it going to limit them to different weapons? Or are they going to choose the abilities? For me, I think maybe a bit of both. I think for XL, you know, Brain's not got that scythe, so he's going to use a different weapon, which is going to be the Tempest. On the alternative side of Giant, not too sure how that differs. But of course, Nolson, we saw it in week 1, you know, trying to be the Tommy, if you like, of Millennium with that Annihilator.
Yeah, and following down, you can see that we are going to be seeing a response from Brian's Tempest. I keep calling him Brian. It's just a brain kind of lag I have with his name. We're going to be seeing, I'm probably going to 50% Brain, 50% Brian. I hope you accept that. He is his first name, so it is forgivable. But either way, let's run down those rosters for you then. For the Spaniards, of course, home to that incredible fan base that we've been seeing present in the stream already. I'm sure they'll be shouting even louder as they go to try and take that first loss against XL. Still, it's going to be UFO with Kinetic Armor, Legend on Heatwave, Toho bringing in the Tempest, and Methods with the War Machine. War Machine making more of an appearance into our second week on Hardpoint than we did see previously.
Yeah, of course, you saw in the first map Tony in his Tempest, now you see Toho in his Tempest. However, Brain, you're making it difficult for me here. On XL side, Brain and the Tempest, of course. Nolson sticking to his guns with the Annihilator. Quicker with the Heatwave, and Zed with the Kinetic Armor. Didn't even mean to do that, but I smiled when I said it.
Yeah, that made me happy. You could have even thrown in a quite literally if you really wanted to go all the way with the Annihilator. But that's exciting to see. He's kind of joining the boys. Who else have we got? We've got Tommy, who likes to pick that one up. There's another player. What's his name?
Trying to think who would be the one. I mean, we remember these because they use them throughout.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, is that they're consistently picking up the Annihilator. It doesn't matter what game type, doesn't matter what map, they will be picking up the Annihilator. There is another one, and I will probably shout out a random player's name at another point during this cast, and that will be it. But
just
so
midway
far,
through.
Nolson and Tommy, there is a third who is kind of constantly... Is it Nile? I don't know.
Oh, it could be anyone. I'm trying to think at the top, you know, the Eps. I'm trying to think Epsilon. Is it someone
Infused.
from Epsilon?
It's not Zero, no.
We'll come to it. When we're going to see every team today.
Yeah,
that was them. We'll come back. So, yes. But as that finalises, score streaks won't really change much as none was banned. So these guys should be able to ready up with that.
wasn't it?
Oh, you're right. Sorry, HCXD was taken away. I was focusing more on the Purifier and
Scythe,
the Scythe taken away.
But with HCXD taken away, that does just kind of take away a little bit of those, if you go on a little bit of a spree, that easy way of entering into a hard point has been taken away. That's essentially what we're going to be seeing with that ban. But here we go then, folks. We're loading in. Already time for Game 2 of the Call of Duty World League. It's going to be on Stronghold, playing out Hardpoint.
Yeah, first to 250 points. Of course, we may not see that. We see these narrow 244s to 248s, all kind of crazy stuff. But 5 minutes will be on the clock, and no respawn, of course. But for me, the man to watch is going to be XLZ, also known as Zedenya. And I asked him over the weekend, what is this name about? And he said his first name is Zach, and I think his surname is the other bit.
Edenya.
But the E in the middle was something to do with his internet. Everyone just called him an online warrior, so he just put in there.
All right, okay. Well, we'll see how this one does kick off, as we're going to be seeing the Spanish versus the British. And we're not, because we're coming back straight on back to us. Looks like there may have been a little problem that they choose to resolve. But so far...
It's all even. It's 0-0.
Complete draw. Complete draw so far.
It wouldn't be a very entertaining game if we ended it there. Quicker didn't spawn in, so maybe he's not happy with something. I'm not too sure, but they all were there. I'm sure.
Did you catch a glimpse of any weapons? Because we had the M8 and the Vespa protected. Is it going to become an M8 Vespa battle? Will there anything? Would it be weird if we saw anything else?
I think to protect a Vespa as a submachine gun player, that's what you're going to be using. Yeah. That's what the Spanish are. We're not going to see UFO and the Cuda maybe, but assault rifle, we're going to see that M8. If someone changes it up, that's a preference. You know, if you're using the XR2, HVK, Man of War, that's their preference for sure. Yeah. But it's interesting to see when it's protected, when they have the free reign of all the assault rifles, which one do they pick? So if someone does choose something else, it's going to be one to note down in the notepad for sure. If you guys are watching at home and you see a particular player maybe picking up a gun. You know, maybe you want to ban that next time from them. Definitely one
targeted
to watch out
bans,
for.
man. That is going to happen, and I'm just waiting the day. I'm thinking week 4, week 5, we're going to start seeing, oh, it's Toho. Of course, this gets taken away. That's going to start to establish itself, especially once the Vesper and M8 do get kind of leveled out. But we're going back into the ban and protect, I believe, just so to kind of rattle on through it. So we may as well continue to talk a little bit about Giants, the storyline there, because they were here at the qualifiers. They've been to the Cologne studios, and they didn't quite make it. They, of course, came through the online stages. We can just remind you guys about how the different opportunities arose in order to get here. You can see, of course, those Stage 1 qualifiers were played out both online and offline. The offline phase kind of eluded Giants.
Yeah, Giants, they didn't qualify here. They had some trouble. They switched out a couple of players. They came back stronger. They fought their way through a very tough bracket online, and they find themselves in the Pro Division here at the Call of Duty World League. Fully in their right. Yes, they've had a bad start, but they can perform. We've seen it before. On the flip side, XL, they qualified online as well. They're both in the same situation, but they've come off the starting blocks a little bit hotter. They're looking like the team to beat almost at the moment. XL, for me, they could be the team that breaches into this top 4, top 3 tier team.
Yeah, and you can see that 2016 season, it's wide and it's vast, but you have 2 stages, $200,000 on the line for the teams competing in either stage. That's $400,000 across the year just for these 10 teams here in the European side of the Call of Duty World League. Though you do see relegation, you do see that word, and so it's gonna, you know, if Giants continue to play this way, if they don't pick up a map, they could very well be facing that scary word a little later in the year. But it's going to be time for us to kind of turn our attention back to the game before we do get out of hand. Of course, COD champs there, right at the end of it, that big shield that that is the goal. That is where their crosshairs are set towards the end of 2016.
That's what all the teams they're looking up for. They're thinking that's where we want to be. But yes, you're in the league. You may not be staying there. That relegation section, that's to kind of, you know, almost put out the weak, get in some stronger talent. And then again, we've got all of Season 2, and only the best will be going. Unfortunately, we can't see them all there, but the best teams will be going. They'll be representing their countries, their organizations, their continents almost. And I kind of get a bit excited when I say this.
Your eyes kind of light up. You're like, oh.
It's kind of like one slow, steady build-up, and then at the end of the year, we're going to see, hopefully, some magic.
Hopefully, most definitely. Well, we'll see who's got their top hat on at the top of the table. But for now, we have to go straight back into it. It's Stronghold, guys. In case you'd forgotten, it's Hardpoint. And we're going to be seeing XL go up against Giants. And I say that just as there is a missing player. Gosh darn it. Is how we would say it.
Okay. It's all right. Take your time.
Third time's the charm is actually what we say.
Third time lucky, I like to say.
Yeah.
But I've said I'm jumping off my little fence for today. I'm probably going to bring that back in next week. I feel a little bit uncomfortable, not going to lie.
It's good.
But I'm going to make a bold prediction that XL are going to win. And I think they're going to continue in the fashion that they are. But I want Giants so bad to pick up a map. I want them to fight back. But I can only see it going XL's way. I'm thinking 3-0, maybe a 3-1.
Well, I mean, I would too. Coming into this one, like earlier on at 2 o'clock this afternoon, I would have said so. But seeing LDLC up against Vitality, I'd have said the same.
Yeah.
And so you know what?
True.
That's where like I'm starting to get a little bit more belief in these guys. They've had also a week to prepare. They dipped their toe in the Call of Duty pond last week. Of course, playing those 2 game days on Tuesday and Wednesday. Now they're back. LDLC transformed as a team over the course of 1 week. Let's see perhaps if Giants can pick up. I'm not saying the win, but I am saying a map.
They need to do something. They can only get better. Yeah. And I know that's cliche to sound, but when you've lost 2, you've lost 3-0, 3-0, you can only get better from that. And
absolutely.
With time, with practice, I'm sure they will do. And what frustrates me almost is I watch their online process. I watch them beat team after team after team, and they finalize their spot here, and it's like, yes, the Spanish are in, they're going to make an impact, but they've started off slow.
Yeah.
But, you know, we will have to wait and see as weeks go by. I am sure my faith, my almost Rel side of me is coming in. He was a big fan of the Spanish. He liked the underdog, and I'm sure he will be putting a prediction down for them to win this 3-0. You know, that's what he does. But he's not here.
Brotherly love.
I have my new brother also known as Machine.
Mother. That's me. But we're going to be kind of, I think target set on Giants just to see what they can do, because it's a horrible curse. I mean, if you come into the end of week 2 and you haven't picked up a map,
oh wow,
like we're talking 0-4.
0-4, 0-12.
That's tough. That silence kind of speaks volumes.
Yeah, that's where you think you're almost looking at the league, and people will be asking, are they justified this spot? Should they be here?
Of course they will.
That's why we have relegation.
That's why we have 2 stages as well. You know, we weed out the weak, and we find that fresh, that new blood. There's already so much of it present in the Call of Duty World League, but there's so much room for more. And I think that's something that if you guys at home, if you're a baller, if you can play, you have the opportunity to do so as well. There is a whole lot of, there's a second tier. You may have seen it in that graphic that we did bring up, whereby you too can compete in these different tiered tournaments.
Yes.
And accumulate COD points for yourself as an individual, where you then can apply them and get yourself a spot in the World League. It sounds complex, it most definitely isn't, and we'll be explaining more of that when we have time, because it's time for us to once again go on into game. Fingers crossed, toes and everything, as we go into our 3rd attempt at Stronghold Hardpoint.
Yes, and we're off straight away. 5 minutes on that clock, first to 250. Methods, though, with this assault rifle, M8 in hand, he's going to pick up 1 kill. Oh, UFO actually using the M8 as well. I'm going to quickly cycle through. Sorry for the confusion here. We see Vesper, we see M8, another M8, and another Vesper. That's the storyline here so far in map number 1, as 30 seconds starts to tick away. No specific lead here. Looks like XL are going to pick up the first scrap points. Yeah, it's just a question of who can perform best with these weapons, as they are both going to be flying free. You're not going to be seeing anything else in that kill feed. Just delete that bottom left from your peripheral vision. That's a nice position from Nolson there. You can see he's just holding by that light post. Not going to be finding too much more, though, as he already did do the damage. 4 kills already quite early into this one, and those scrap points are becoming a little bit more than that. You can see they're starting to accumulate around the 20 mark. As I say that, though, Legend does try and collect something. You've got the double, but that's not going to kind of transfer into points because the rotation's on, and XL are going to be first on the scene. Yeah, those first scrap points, they're just going to be a 10-point game at the moment. Not something so significant going into it. Looks like teammate actually to punch Legend in the face. However, his nose may be broken, but he's going to battle right back here on this kitchen table. At the moment, though, it is going in the favor of XL. UFO Methods picking up 2. This is the break they need. Did I just see some footsteps? No, okay, excuse me. I thought he was using tracker. I was like, you dare, you crazy cat. No, instead, we are going to be seeing 38 seconds, and it's going to be starting to see Giants find that return. They were looking for it, took the time. Legend, of course, kind of getting over the fact his teammate punched him in the face, and he is going to be able to find this one onto Zed. Now gone, as if, excuse me, it was Nolson, as just a flurry of frags for Giants, which does get a little confusing. But 20 seconds left. He's not going to be able to hold the outside area because Zed, the man of the moment, the MVP from the previous week, is going to try and do it again. He's top of the scoreboard so far, and he's looking to extend that, but Legend proves too much. Yeah, interesting enough. Looking at in his arsenal there, has flashbangs available. Looks like he's also got 2 of them in his back pocket, but not having the best assault here, finding almost a Spanish wall, which he can't break, as the Spanish actually taking the early lead, if you like. Another 10-point game going in favor of them, with only a minute gone on the clock. 42-31. Zed actually picking up 1 with the M8. Nolson. Yeah, bullet into the thigh was not enough. He actually kind of switched the sidearm for this close quarters, and that's where they do really shine. Kinetic armor available as he starts to accumulate points. As soon as that gets contested, he is going to hit that kinetic armor. There it is. As soon as that happens, and already blood is drawn. Methods down. Heatwave in response, or was it a flashbang? Now Legend with his Vesper, Toho as well, and Giants just bite straight back and try and increase that lead. Yeah, that Heatwave really answered back to the kinetic armor. Almost shut it down immediately, and we see the boys from Spain here. They're looking stronger. They look practiced. I mean, looking across the board, only Toho is the one going negative at the moment, but he seems to be the one playing these sneaky plays. Going up behind him, he's going to face one quicker. He's too quick for him. 5 and 10 for quicker, though. Again, not having the best start, but I'm sure throughout this game, for me, it's all about that bunker hardpoint. Yeah, that's, as you call it, the kind of the money point we'll be seeing, though, as it's already going to come into the outside area. That rocks area, it's so brutal to hold, and already you're seeing examples of that as Methods does try and find Zed. He did so as the UFO onto Nolson now, though. 3v3. Time is kind of irrelevant here in hardpoint. It does just come down to positioning, and looking at that, it does look like, again, we see the boys from a kind of Giants just sketching around the outskirts. It's just like 4v4 brawl, and XL come out on top. Yeah, and you can see XL lighting up that kill feed in the bottom left. And now this is 30 seconds on the clock. This is where they can't rotate too early, but you need to solidify that spot. And we're already going to see, I'm just going to highlight him, it's Methods going early to the rotation. 3 kills for the boys from Spain. Now, Quicker. I've got to jump on board with Quicker because he's going to come face to face. They're going to pinch him. Look how many are surrounding there, and he's got to come up. It does take it down. Almost speechless from myself there, just waiting to see.
Yeah, I mean, that was it for Methods. He tried to do a little something special, got over to that rotate. You can see just how much of an emphasis teams are putting in towards this hard point. It is so difficult to retake once control is gained. And looking at 3 members from Excel already holding firm. Coming straight on in, slides through. Hang on, Toho and UFO have just cracked on in. Got the tin opener out, and just for a second before Quicker did manage to find 2. Tempest strong from Toho, finds a second into the head of Brain. Methods has got his War Machine out, and look at this. The frags are flying, and Giants have completely retaken this.
I like the way that Giants have kind of basically said, we're going to give them the hill, and they're going to use all their specialists to break it. They use War Machine, they use Kinetic Armor, and I think they used the Heat Wave as well. Even the Tempest, they could have used all 4. I'm not too sure, but it was very, very well set up from the Spanish. They're extending their lead here. It's a 40-point game, and the Spanish are lighting up right now. Zed trying to do everything he can, picks up 2, gets taken down though, and again, the Spanish racking up the points.
Yeah, they're picking up points, but they're also picking up kills. Look at that spread. 21 for UFO, 18 for Methods. There's very few separating the top from the bottom. Just Toho kind of lagging behind on 12. And I was going to say, yes, he's got time on the point, but so has Legend and UFO, your 2 top fraggers, sitting at about a minute apiece. Methods towards Lab. He's going to catch a glimpse of one. The hipfire does connect. The M8 close quarters actually prevails, and he's going to find another one. Methods on a slaying spree, and he's trying to keep control of this middle hard point.
Yeah, now Methods, this is where you need to keep calm. You're 21 and 11. You're almost double fragging, and now does he take him down? No. Brain and Nolson combine for a double themselves with that M8. Of course, this is where we see the ban and protect being so important coming into the game of hardpoint, because these weapons are chosen so wisely, and it looks like it's favored the boys from Spain.
Yeah, for now, looks like good teamwork is going to make the dream work just for a second, as Methods did only find 1. I do see a Kinetic Armor is available. It's UFO, very fast UFO coming out on the outside area. Does catch Zed on the flank. Now, actually, he used his Kinetic Armor a little prematurely there. Is good. Ooh, I was going to say keep him alive for that exchange. Didn't even do that, as Quicker did find the head. Yep. That is your weak spot. And it does look like this 10-second contest is going to be causing a little bit of havoc for the rotate too shallow. I mean, to say rotate, it's about a meter to get into that second hard point.
Yeah, Quicker obviously opting for a vertical route here as he opens himself up. His team, he has seen one on the wall run in this kitchen area. 1 versus 1. Is he going to be able to take him down? Heatwave used, not utilized though. Quicker. He's going to find... Oh, wow. He's going to find the kill. Really well played for Quicker there. Headshot again. That's
another headshot. I mean, imagine if he had high caliber, the bodies would be dropping even faster. Instead, though, 2 minutes as they try and breach on through towards that ping-pong table. That's 2 as both Giants fall, and now all of a sudden, the ball is in the other side of the court. It's going to be Excel who find themselves their 100 and try and close this gap. Test it again. UFO goes down. It looks like he's going no problems. Quicker is on an absolute tear. All of his streaks are available. He's got control of the bar, and just 20 seconds left for 3 members of Giants. I say 3 because Brain just found a frag, as did Nolson, and no, Giants locked out.
Yeah, 9 kill streak. Look at that scoreboard highlighted on the top right there. 24 and 20. He's really got his team back in the game. They were at a 40-50 point deficit. Now closing in on that 50 mark and closer. They could level things up here. Going into the next rotation, they're going to have to push this wisely. But for me, I'm going to stay on board with Quicker because I can see the lightning strike coming in. Chooses the Hellstorm, though.
And so it can be sometimes difficult to aim. Looks like he's going to have no problems, though, dispatching of Method as he finds himself his 10th in a row. Yes, you are reading that correctly. Quicker is looking for his 11th, and as he goes on hunting with the Vesper, it's mid-range. It doesn't necessarily work for him, but he finds it nonetheless. As he does, again, play some time. Finally, he does get taken down by Toho, but the damage, my friends, is done, as Excel have taken the lead.
Yeah, we talk about the damage, and now the Spaniards here. 4 kills back-to-back, breach the hard point, and Quicker, again, he seems to be on some next-level playing style at the moment. 27 and 2, minute under his belt, and now the lightning strike comes in. He's going to try and breach this. Let's see how many he can pick up.
Looks like it could very well be a little bit of a flop. He's going to go ahead and take down his teammate Nolson. Going on the offensive, actually gets punished by that lightning strike, but there's the heat wave, and that's going to be the breach. 2 down. Zed actually finishes off the work of Quicker. And those final points are going to be that extra 10 to put Excel. Just 10 points, so close, neck and neck in this one. And those 10 points aren't even going to be distributed just the one way, as Giants' final frags did come in. And we rotate once again in towards that rocky area. Tempest not going to happen, completely nullified by the work of Giants. And look at Zed's movement, gliding towards that hard point.
Yeah, for me, the Tempest there, it was, you know, you work so hard, you rack up so many points and streaks, and it's just shut down. But Zed, the complete opposite of last week, 20 and 30, he needs to step things up. He needs to change something immediately going into this hard point. As Giants are taking that lead again, they're extending, they're building this 20 points lead. I'm going to jump on board with UFO. You spoke about him before the game. He's 34 and 23 machine.
Yeah, and he has the most time on the hard point. He is picking up those defends of the point as well, trying to not only break the hill but hold it. As we are going to be seeing this last 20 seconds look to be a little bit of a kind of to and fro. Giants are going to be given those final 20 and kind of gifted on a silver platter because the rotates on. It's the money hill, 4v3. The numbers, of course, favoring the boys from XL, and Zed just extends it. Here comes the heat wave, but Brain's got his back, and this is going to be a real tough one for Giants to break.
That's such an important kill. The heat wave has been used, it's been shut down, and now Zed is finding his form. He's pushing out, he's doing his thing, but we see this breeze through middle map from the green arrows. There is Giants. I've got to switch over to Nolson. He's going to feel the wrath of the Spanish very, very shortly. UFO is the one to take him down as trades go down. War Machine. Oh, sorry, Annihilator, sorry, is unlocked for Nolson. Here he goes.
What's he going to do with that? Not the best specialist for breaking into a hill, but we'll see if Nolson can prove us wrong. Catches the toes of Methods, looking for a second, but no, not going to happen because his teammates have done it for him. I say teammates. It is just the one. Zed finds two. Now 30 seconds, and Excel starting to grow that lead. They cannot afford to let the Spanish in. Those contested are really just stealing points away from them. Pulls out his fists in the face of danger, and finally does go down.
Gotta say, Nolson, at the moment, you're no Tommy with that weapon. However, much time to improve, but at the moment, 187 to 187. All things are level.
Insane.
This is so close. Going into the rotation, we're going to see it go back to that initial hill very, very shortly. 5 seconds left. Of course, that 1 minute on the clock, you know, that could come into the factor here.
Let's see what UFO can do. He's the one kind of closest to the scene. He's going to be just on hill. Come around behind the enemy team. He knows they're going to be rotating from it. Could have been an important second, but no. In the meantime, though, his teammates finish the job. And we see 202. Giants need to take control of middle. It's usually the hardest one to hold for an extended period of time, but it doesn't look like Giants are kind of aware of that as they're about to find themselves 200 and again completely level up the game.
Yeah, this is a big one for me. This is where streaks come in, and that's it. The lightning strikes put down by Methods. Raining fire on the boys from XL, and 4 kills back-to-back from the boys on Giants. 41 kills for Method, and he's going to extend that surely. 42 and 23 as he does take the lead.
9. He's 9 in a row in this life. That's a Cerberus, and that spells trouble for XL. Giants most definitely are onto a bit of a giant lead at this point. That could very well be the last 15 seconds they need. I say that, though, it is contested. 50 seconds, and it's going to come down to these scrap points. Suddenly, they become so much more valuable.
Yeah, and that Cerberus being called in, that is going to be so tough from the boys on XL to bounce back from. 219 to 205. The clock is ticking, but the rotation comes in, and we see once again, it looks like the Spanish are in control of it. Why are you shooting the Cerberus? You've not got time for that. Get out of there. Methods raining. Again, kill after kill. 45 to his name. Machine. He's incredible.
Yeah, one of the biggest numbers we've seen today. In fact, that is the biggest number. I say that. UFO's got 42. Where did he come from as he fights the head of Brian? And now 40 seconds for XL just to close this gap once again. Yes, they have control for now, but they cannot afford to let this slip away. 40 seconds. Need I reiterate just how close this one comes? The clock does stop, though, and that makes my comebacks all the more possible. And saying comebacks, it does look like it's going to be coming right down to the wire. Giants yet to make an impact. They are starting to wrap in. That Cerberus has not done as much impact as we had hoped.
He's hiding.
He is just cowering from the Terminator. As the what was it called in the Robot Wars? Was it the Razor?
Sir Kill-A-Lot.
Sir
He was one of my favorites.
He was the scary one.
Matilda.
Oh my God, you know all the names. Stop. Wheelie Big Cheese. Do you remember him? The big flipper. Now though, 238 to 237, and anybody that's not from England has no idea what we are talking about. 240 Giants just 10 points away from picking this one up, and it does look like they've managed to maintain it. XL need to contest right now. This is their last chance to contest, and finally Zed steps up, but he has some slaying to do, and just the one as Giants retake 3 points away. XL just 10 themselves. It does quite literally come down to this. Brian needs to find that one. UFO's found 2 as well with the Vespa, throwing out everything he can to waylay and delay with that flashbang. 5, 4, they're closing the gap. XL could very well do this. They have control. They've done it. Oh my Lord, XL. 3 points separating the two teams, but they come out on top in map 1.
Oh my goodness. I lost it a little bit. I was just watching as a spectator as you kind of led the way there. And for me, it was those flashbangs at the end. Zed jumped in, Nolson jumped in, and whoever was using those flashbangs just coordinated them so well. They knew the cutoffs. And wow, how are Giants feeling right now? They had their chance. They were so far in. You know, they had the Cerberus, they had control. What have XL just done?
Everything was coming up for the Spanish.
No.
That was like now just to remind you guys, they haven't won a map yet, and they were 3 points away.
And XL are 2-0 in the lead. I mean,
good God, that's tough. That is going to be so hard for them to come back from. And you see our reactions. I just imagine their communications right now are just dead. Just
dead.
Just
Like that, literally, just like we had it.
That was ours.
You'd be saying we had it.
Method's
We had the
calling us
Cerberus.
He's got 45 kills. UFO has 42. What are you saying right now? You're just getting hyped, like, come on, boys. And then Excel, those last 20 points just kind of pulled from Giants, put like a rug from under their feet. And we do see Excel continue on what seems to be a bit of a streak as they pick up map 1. Still potentially 4 more to go. We could go all the way, absolutely. And I mean, that's a great question. Which player is the X factor in this up-and-coming series? Right now, I would have started saying Methods. I would have started saying UFO.
Yeah.
But Zed and his flashbangs jumped straight on in. He was quite quiet in frags.
I mean, Zed, yeah, you touched on it there. He was quite quiet in frags. I've got to go, you know, XL as the team there kind of coming back. Zed pushed aside for 1 second.
Who are we talking about?
Is the MVP for week 1. But looking at it now, for me, it was kind of the Nolston quicker factor.
Yeah.
I'd have to rewatch it. I really do, because
just as you said his name, do you remember Quicker's little tear? Sitting at like, you got like a 10 kill. I think that just puts him head and shoulders above
100%.
Nolston.
Quicker. That one's for you. That map, you got your team back into it. I think it was a 10 kill streak, maybe more.
Like
but he got the lightning strike. He got the Hellstorm. It was all about breaking it. I could talk about that map forever. But 250 to 247, you're so close. Come on, Giants.
Still getting love, though. Zed seems to be the target of a lot of people's affections. It was Senpai there who said that one. Kazdi says Zed.
Okay.
Men of few words, but they're definitely providing us with the question we asked. And already we're seeing people... Hang on, not another one. Oh, I thought I was going to be a third Zed. But going against us, I mean, you know, the fact that Excel picked up those last few points already makes Excel the kind of the MVPs, plural. But Giants are going to be in the dumps right now.
How do they come back from that? Going into a search and destroy where you have to be so calm, so composed, and you just come off a loss like that. I feel so bad for them.
No, you can see it in our faces.
It's like we almost wanted them to win. I mean, that's not the case. There's no bias behind it. But when a team has had such a rough start, comes up against such a team that's had the fairy tale, if you like, it could have been the clash of heads. It could have really kicked it off. But for me now, we both said 3-0, 3-1, something like that. Excel for me have to have that momentum now in their communication. They're
chilling.
Like.
They're just like, well, we had that the whole time. What are you talking about? That was easy. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Getting into that kind of UK gaming mindset where we were always going to win.
Yeah, just to come back. Make it entertaining. One thing was entertaining for us. XL really, really spot on with that. But for me, it was more of a team factor. It wasn't just Zed, even though you guys are saying it.
Which is nice that it wasn't just Zed, because that sometimes can be the case in some of the earlier games, especially Zed when it does come into your search and destroys, which is coming up next. So keep your eyes peeled, guys, as that's going to be search and destroy on Infection, and that poses the question: how are Giants going to do?
It's so hard to kind of call this. Before the series, I would have gone, yeah, I'd say XL 6-2, 6-3. Maybe Giants will push them to kind of 6-4. But now, I've seen the capability, what Giants can do.
Yeah.
I can see this going closer, but if XL kind of dominate this, it won't be very, it'll be a steamroller, if you like. However, talking about the map and the game mode, Search and Destroy, 6 rounds is what you need to reach. Plant time and defuse time, obviously up on there, 5 and 7.5 for you guys. But the key factor for me, only 1 life. You have to play this a whole lot different than your hard point. You've got to be calm, you've got to be set up, and the key is communication. But can Giants get the first map of the series, let alone of the tournament?
Yeah, and I'm kind of be looking towards the boys from Giants, especially on the attack. You have to remember, in fact, a fun statistic for you is Methods was responsible for 80% of the bomb plants in their Search and Destroy games. So that's someone to keep your eyes on when it comes to the objective. We'll be kind of constantly coming back to that one. And looking at this, talking of coming back, is the same start to the ban and protects. People look like they're quite happy with the Vesper M8 battle. Yeah,
I mean, both teams might be in their own camp, if you like, saying we played well, let's keep it the same. And we see exactly the same from them. Will we see, the concussion taken out, the high caliber, the rapid fire? For me, Search and Destroy is played differently. You're going to see different ban and protects. Nolson taking away that overkill. No combos of the sniper and SMG for them. Nolson, I mean, the one thing about overkill is it does take away that kind of combo, but the pistols are usable. Not only usable, they're really good.
And this is why we've actually been seeing the trend where it's overkill and the SVG. Like, the people quite literally say, okay, you want to do that? Go Locus. And that's kind of what's happening again here in the Search and Destroy. Ban and protects. They're just like, okay, overkill isn't enough. We need to take everything away from this potential. I mean, we've seen examples maybe on Uplink where they take like AR and SMG with overkill, but that is almost entirely trying to take that sniper and rifle play away.
Yeah, and high caliber and rapid fire, you know, I'd love to know the percentages that they were taken away. That's got to be in the 90s. We will get that for you. But for me, these are the next two important ones. Is it going to be your specialists? Oh, smoke. Interesting one.
It makes sense, considering especially that Giants have been a team to use smoke quite a lot in the past.
Yep.
They go for that kind of smoke and thermal play. Taking that away, and in response, Kinetic Armor Legend takes it away from XL, and they're like, no Kinetic Armor in Search and Destroy. It does make these crazy clutches a little less unlikely.
Yeah,
a little less likely. Even.
Kinetic Armor, you can, you know, if it's close quarter combat, you can pick up 4 kills literally if they're all close enough. But for me, those 1v2s are a lot more doable if you like. But kicking it off on Giant side, Methods pick up the Psychosis. Brain alternatively choosing the active camo.
Okay, good to see Overdrive kind of not being banned away. That's an observation we really should have made, considering Search and Destroy, it's something you really will see kind of, I mean, I'm not going to drop the 90, but 80, 70% of the time, Overdrive...
Just pick a random number.
So keen. 50, 60, 40, 30, you know, one of those. But Overdrive very, very kind of highly contested in ban and protect. Slips through the net, and Toho is immediately snapping that one up. I would assume XL would respond with the same.
Yeah, because if you can have an Overdrive player, it's on those attacks where you pick up the bomb, you can get in an absurd position where they wouldn't expect it. Toho rivaling quicker. Zed is going to battle back against Methods. Will we see Legend pick the heat wave? If he does, it's a mirror match. Yes, he does. There is no exceptions to the rules, and there's no excuses right now. Going into this, you all have the same weapon, you all have the same specialists. So it all comes down to teamwork, and talking to teamwork, it is Search and Destroy. Those guys, obviously, they have the time to create the classes, change things up, obviously. Yeah. Won't be too much, really, because they've still got the Vesper and the M8.
I would assume this is going to be relatively quick for the creator class phase, unless it's just going to be a case of team discussion. You have to remember, not only are they creating classes, they're creating strategy, they're creating confidence. Trying to, of course, if you're in the Spanish side of things, trying to shake off that defeat. 247, need I remind you, to 250. 3 points separating the win, really, for either of these sides. So, I mean, XL, they're on a high. They've always been on a high already off the end of their first week where they picked up the 2 wins, and now they're going to try and make it 3.
Yeah, it's a real nail bite to that hard point. Will we see the same here? Will we see a 5-5? Will we see a round 11? I hope so. Maybe this is the game to go game 5. Will Toho and the boys from Giants, you know, pick up a couple back-to-back. You know, I wouldn't have said it before. I wouldn't have said it before the series, but just seeing what they are capable of, Giants now, I wouldn't have said they would have breached, you know, 180 or 200 points.
Is that not always the story with Giants? I feel like I've said it time and time again where I'm like, you know what, that 3-0 doesn't tell the whole story. Because it bloody happens far too often where they get close. Your 6-4 finishes in Search and Destroy, your 250 to 230 finishes in Hardpoint. They get these so often that it's become a bit of a trend now, whereby their losses are close.
And it must be frustrating because we speak to these professional players, and you know, they come out you know, with tournaments, for example, and they'll say, you know, we lost 3-0, you know, they were the better team, we'll move on. But when you lose so close, they're the ones that kind of stay with you. They're the ones you lose sleep over. And when there's so much money on the line here, every map, every game counts. And at the moment, Giants, they're living the Call of Duty nightmare.
They absolutely are. We'll see if that nightmare can perhaps come to an end here on Infection Search and Destroy. Can they pick up a map win? And can Excel continue to do, I mean, just that? They have been truly picking up a good collection of wins. 2-0, this could very well be 3. And we're going into Infection Search and Destroy to determine whether Giants can pick up a win. Yeah,
Infection, such a good map, such a confused one, looking at that little picture there, of course. Back in, he's set in a World War II, I believe, as a man once said. This snowy mountain here with these floating rocks. Yeah, that's the one. That was the word I was looking for.
That's the village. The village of Carentan, of course, very famous within the previous Call of Duty titles, of course, historically as well. But we're going into it, guys. Infection, Search and Destroy. Giants on the attack to start things off. They have control of the pace, and let's see how they choose to use it. What weapons are we seeing? I assume it's going to be M8s and Vespers across the board. Those were both protected, and they're taking a full push through middle, the first of its kind.
Yeah, they are really changing things up, and I love it. However, This does make them weak against the flank. It pinches them, and Nolson's going to pick up first blood, and this is where you go. It's a numbers game. Oh, that's so risky, just diving across these stairs. Whether Toho was I don't even want to question it, but he's going to pick up one. Nolson's going to pick up the second of the game. Now, numerical advantage in favor of the boys from XL. Did he spot him?
That reload is going to be killing him. He definitely spotted him. And then as that head walked into his crosshair, the reload came through. He's going to be trying to clear out Church now towards Chapel. No! Quicker into the head. Quicker's definitely been the man with the most headshots so far. 2, 3, 4, collecting them in a row in the previous game. Now, though, it's just Legend up against 2. Brian and Nolson.
Yeah, Brian and Nolson bringing up that mini-map. Staying close together, I like this. Brian... okay, Brain, you're rubbing off on me here now. It's okay. But as I miss it just a second, Brain there going into that B-bomb site, just making sure he hadn't rotated. Key element, but Nolson, confident in his shot. Like the way he saw him just dodged away there and made sure he wasn't in the line of sight of himself. Easy pick for him. 1-0 to XL.
Okay, let's see where this one does take us as XL kind of held steady on the defense. It then falls to them to try and give it Giants a bit of a lesson then in the attack, considering of course that Giants did something special, something a bit kind of different with their attack through middle. It felt like they would have had the drop on their opponents. Instead though, Tohor's work behind the back wasn't enough. And now Nolson and Zed holding on the outside area, trying to find just that kind of glimmer of hope. There's 2 around the corner. He gets caught with a flashbang in his hands. Fortunately, Nolson does respond with the M8. 60, he's going to be ready for Nolson. He's not going to be using that anytime soon. Instead, though, does look towards Sandbags, as he did land the tag in. Not going to quite be picking up the kill just yet. Retrieves the bomb, and he could find that one. No, so unfortunate. Legend finds the head. UFO follows suit. That's 1-1.
Yeah, really clinical play there by the boys from Spain here. Giants stepping up to the mark, getting the first round of the board. And I think it's really important to do so early on. UFO finalising things with his MA there. Key thing is he's using Afterburner. We see that on maps where there's a lot of wall running, a lot of kind of diverse routes. For me, not necessarily necessary, but...
Do you know what there is on Infection? There may not be wall running, but there's a lot of high angles that if you quickly thrust all the way up, you can then kind of peak angles that you otherwise wouldn't be expected.
Very, very true, obviously, with this outside rock as well. But staying on board with Giants... They went for this mid-bush on B first round. It didn't work. They're going for it again, and they're going to breach into B. Toho's going to answer back quicker, shut down. He obviously got the first pick, but now they're backing off. I like it. They just
retract. That's very kind of intriguing play from Giants. It does kind of cause a little bit of paranoia on the other side of things. He's managed to completely evade that HCXD with his thrusters. No afterburner for him, though, rocking the flak jacket instead. As I would expect Giants to be taking the bomb towards A, and it does look like that's their prerogative, as the 3 members of XL completely, they've almost over-rotated here, Momo.
Yeah, they have, but you see Nolson here backing off. He's gone quiet at the B bomb site. He's kind of saying, you know, guys, they could have rotated. Yes, they have. The bomb goes down 3 versus 3. Can Nolson extend it? He's got 4 kills to his name at the moment. 35 seconds left on the clock. We're not going to see any engagement at the moment.
This would be Brian or Brain and Zed's first kill. He's picking it up now. Finally, there we go. First blood drawn for him. Zed gets another with the MR6. It does come down to Legend. Can he live up to that legendary name? No. 20 seconds and a defuse coming in for XL, and he's just going to be warming up, making sure his crouch button does work.
And his trigger.
And his trigger. Yeah, both buttons are working. Of course, taking their time with that one.
Ooh, he was using the Draken.
Is that a Draken thermal?
Yep. Shoot button still works. 7.5 seconds as the diffuse comes in. XL, though, they're 1-0 up in maps, only just. And now 2-1 up in this search and destroy. Nolson here on the final kill cam. Again, using Afterburner. Maybe something that I need to start using.
Considering. Yeah. I mean, that felt like Giants' round to lose. They really had everything. Everything was working in their favor. Yes, they had equal numbers with their opponent, but the bomb was down. They had time to set up. Everything suggested that was going to be going the way of the Spanish. And the fact that it hasn't could be a bit of a sorrowful tale to tell when they are crowded around the campfire later. Potentially after this loss, Cooked Nade, they're going to be going out to try and make a bit of an impact. Instead, though, the bomb's going straight on in. Look at this from XL, taking a leaf out of Giants' book.
Yeah, doing exactly the same. And he's going to see one quicker. And Zed, oh my goodness, this could be all the doors shut here on the Spanish. UFO trying to answer back. 1 versus 4 does take down Nolson.
Yeah, but that's a very small dent in a rather big team right now, as he's got to find 3 more. There is a player on that rock, and they're taking their time, making the call. Goes for the thrust. Brian, damn you. Your name is Brain. My brain cannot comprehend his name, which is ironically called Brain.
It's a good job it's called Brian, isn't it?
It really is.
Really is.
Like, I mean, he's been clever by swapping the A and the I, but it's just really playing havoc with my poor brain.
Oh. Poor you, but not poor XL as they extend their lead 3-1. Bringing up that scoreboard though, Methods is the guy, the one who's not drawn any kills at the moment with his team. He really needs to step it up, but alternatively, in fact, I'm going to jump on board with Methods, see what he can do.
Okay, so far the only member on Giants to not have made an impact with his kills. Flashbang does go out for that early peak, but he's not going to be taking it himself. Of course, there's a risk involved in taking that early battle. All members of Giants invested into this push. We are going to be seeing the, I think that was the heat wave come out. UFO and Legend do find early blood, and oh my god, the bodies keep coming. Legend's got 2. It does come then down to Zed. He knows exactly where they're coming from. He is the man with that Drakon Thermal. We thought perhaps they'd scoop that up from a member of Giants, and they're just going to be playing with him, toying with him as he tries to catch a unusual angle, but it does look like the bomb's going down and Zed's fate is sealed.
Yeah, for me, he could have picked up one there as we saw him, but the rotation has happened, and there is one player just around here. He's one off his HCXD car. He's surely going to see him. Yes, he has. No, he's not. What? Zed, he's just there.
His teammates must have been shouting at him, but that gives him both the HCXD and the Psychosis, and he's got 24 seconds. He's changed. It's a change of plan, folks. He's got the kill. He's going to Psychosis on in and try and clear them out. They're both very close. He needs to check his corners, though. Troy goes for one. Surely not another one. No! Legend saves the day again. A big game for Legend so far, and Giants find 2.
Yeah, for me, ballsy play using that Psychosis, but he nearly pulled it off, I have to say. If he did, you know, he's gone from MVP of 1 week to potential of week 2. But early days at the moment, the Spanish still in with a fighting power. Do not rule these out now. 3-2 down. We saw it being close in the hard point. I can see it only going the same way now.
Hello, Toho. He did have Overdrive available. I'd love to see if he is going to be using that. I know it is on the defensive side, but it's sometimes a good way to catch the enemy off guard. Instead, he's just going to be sliding his way on in. And it comes down to what Brain is going to be doing with his M8. Such a common angle. You can see they're trying to break into that B site. Such a hard one to both defend and attack. It's kind of a limbo between the two. Nice angle being held, and oof, not enough. Stalled on the rock, but not going to net him the kill, and we find ourselves in a 3v3.
Yeah, 3 versus 3. Brain and Toho fallen now at 2 versus 2. Corrupting the minds. But Zed's going to see Methods, and now it's all up to Nolson. 8 kills to his name. Can he... does get shut down. All back to level pegging. 3-3 here. Excellent Giants.
Yeah, and this is kind of the same story as all of the Search and Destroy games for Giants. They keep it interesting, they keep it spicy, but only for so long before Excel kind of will get that head away. You know, they get the neck in advantage. There's an expression I'm trying to find. What's it called?
I don't know.
The head away, the neck advantage. What am I trying to say?
Trying to get one eye.
Oh, it's a thing. Okay, either way, the overdrive's coming in. Toho's going for that sprint. We were hoping to see it on the defensive side. Instead, he's going to be keeping it very, very easy to expect. He's going to be coming straight around the corner, just tagging him up. That's not enough. He needs to find one on the push. It is going to be Zed, but immediately traded out. And look at this. It's just going to be an absolute brawl. UFO, blinking, you miss it, is left in a 1 versus 2 scenario. Both of them are there. He knows it. He needs a fresh magazine, though, and that should very well be his fate sealed. Just the MR6 will not save his life, and Quicker picks him up.
I felt so sorry for UFO there. He was just a little bit behind them all. He was like, I'm coming, guys. Just wait. And all of them fell, and he used his active camo, and it was absolutely useless. It came into play. He was using it. As they came around the corner, he popped up. He's like, oh, there he is.
Hello.
Took down UFO, and that went in favor of XL. But for me, that overdrive, that could have been used a little bit better. Maybe if he had an assault rifle instead of that submachine gun. But Methods 1 of 5. Got to go over on the other side. Let's see what Zed's doing at the moment. He is 5 and 5, bomb in hand.
Yeah, he has been given that responsibility with the bomb. Going to be seeing a couple of early nades exchanged.
Oh, look, Quicker has pushed up, and he's all... Quicker pushed around the corner so quickly there. But he then got a HCXD to the nose. 3-3 now. 3 versus 3, should I say.
Yeah, I'm going to be seeing a potential... I was going to say a bomb plant, but it looks like they've kind of overshot it a bit. Instead, Brian does get that one, and this 4v3 scoreline's looking to change quite quickly as we are back to a 2v2, and it does fall to Toho and Legend to find their equalizer. Bomb goes down. Of course, Giants on the attack. It comes down to Zed to play the retake.
Zed's in a really dangerous position here. 35 seconds to Hor taking down Brain. Now, can Zed do it? He's going to see one. Surely he can get this pick.
Oh my god, they just walked straight past each other. A little bit of a pickpocket. He stole his wristwatch and now he wants revenge. No, it's not going to be happening. Legend with the MR6. The defuse will be coming in, and it's all too easy. Yeah,
it's going to go to Legend. Only 125 off his HCXD car. Actually, could he be on for a dart, maybe? I'm trying to think, maybe because he used his HCXD. We'll have to stay on board with him, but 4-4. Hard point went down to 3 points. This is going down to less. Now at 4-4. He's going down to the wire. Oh, nice kill cam there with the RK5. Again, afterburner. I was completely wrong. These guys obviously know what they're doing.
Yeah, I think it is quite literally just for the kind of aerial combat. They're constantly, we're seeing these kill cams where both players are just floating in the air with their wings. And it's going to be 4-4. This is usually the point, and I'm talking from previous results where Giants do struggle to close out the game. It's happened time and time again in every game type. Now, though, is their time to separate themselves from the pack. Legend went aggressive, but just for a second, you're so intrigued by UFO. He's actually got such a huge flank. Oh my god, their backs are all turned. He could completely rack them up. That's 1, that's 2. He's teaching us how to count with 3. UFO! It is truly euphoric when he is on. It's going to be the ace. UFO is glorious. He finds 5.
I love just hearing it. UFO, it was literally... it was a masterclass in how to play, but I just don't understand. And I was watching the mini-map as you were talking over it. He went right around the back of them, but one of them was almost watching it, but just didn't do anything. I didn't know who it was. We'd have to go back and watch that, but that is one to note down. The very, very quick 4-piece. 2 was in the back, but to pull out 4, that's one for the highlight reel for sure.
Yeah, and Methods on the other side of the schedule, just sitting on 1. I mean, UFO's just quadrupled his score in 1 round alone. Brain's going for the aggressive, though. Look at this! With the active camo, wasn't anticipating that play around the corner. It was Toho, but Quicker trades it. And this, my friends, is where you see a real kind of solid display from Excel on Search and Destroy. Legends HCXD does level the playing field, though. Yeah,
HCXD really, really important. Obviously, it mustn't have been that dart. Now 2-2. Giant, this is what we talk about. You're so close to putting the first map on the series of the season. Can they do it? It's now a 1 versus 2. Only Methods could do this, but he's 1 and 6. This is the time to shine. Come on, Methods.
And that nade was not ideal. He's been pincered in from either side. It does look like the same story being told again and again. Giants must be sick of it. As 30 seconds left, Methods looking a little lost here on Infection. He has 2 to find and 30 seconds to do so. The defuse is going to surely elude him as they just have to run around a Roses now as they just kind of create a bully circle trying to keep him out of this site. Rotating around now, needs to check his corners. He knows it's going to be 1 there, but look at that. They've completely evacuated the site, and he is just being toyed with, Phil. That is 1.
Oh, he has seen him. He's got to challenge him, but surely he can't do it. Yeah, he won't be able to get the defuse, and Quicker leveling things up 5-5. I said it, we could go to round 11, but it was, I mean, I didn't understand it. He had no time to sit in corners, and Methods was just almost taking his time a little bit too much for me. But we're going to go into round 11. I want to quickly cycle through, and sorry for the confusion, have we got any specialists available?
Yeah, that's going to be important, actually. This could, I mean, it comes down to 1 round, 1 life to secure the win for your team. We are going to be seeing nothing available, and so it does just come down to that raw gun skill, that raw strategy. We've seen, 5 accumulate for either side. They're both capable of it, but it does just quite literally come down to this.
Who's got the HC car? I'm going to quickly again cycle through. It's UFO
as well.
Oh, Heatwave come in. Must be for the Spaniards.
So just playing the waiting game on this site. It enables him to both hold angles safely and securely. And this is going to be a slow one. You can see Excel on the attack, and they have quite literally hit the brakes. 60 seconds, and the only man considering a push is going to be just around the corner. Oh, that's great angles there. Great work from UFO. He's got information. He could find even a kill if he plays this right. As there is
if he just jumps up.
If he just goes for 1. No, he's completely evaded it. He's going to be shot down from that one. Oh, the flak jacket does save his teammate's life for the Excel boys. But damage done. Nolson's the one bleeding out, and they have 38 seconds to get that bomb down. Surely that's enough information to hold the angles. Yes, 1 for UFO with the M8 this time. Takes a break. That's the heat wave to try and quite literally break in. Quicker, not having any of it, though. He has overdrive available. How useful is that when you're sitting in a 3 versus 3 with 25 seconds left?
The HCSD cast has come into play. He's going to see 1 flak jacket. It's going to come in. 20 seconds left. It is all going to come down to this. The bomb is going down. Now a 2v3.
Quicker and Zed have to do it all then for XL, or Giants will equalize. They haven't picked up a map win yet. This could very well be it. They just need 1. Zed standing between Giants and this defuse. It does look like it's going to be coming in. UFO's going to be having a big smile on his face as he punches in the final digit, and Giants have a map win under their belt.
Oh my goodness, here we go. Giants off to a start. They've won a map, but our hard point goes down to 3 points. Their search and destroy goes down to 1. This couldn't be any closer if it tried. Technically, it could. I will eat my own words. It could be 2 points closer, but you know.
2-4-9.
But going into the uplink, are we going to see like a 5-4? Are we going to see a 10-9?
Oh, man.
I feel this is the story of this kind of series. And it just, for me, it could you know, it could quite easily be a Giants 2-0 right now, couldn't it? You know, it could be a Giants 3-0. But on the flip side, it could be an XL 2-0, 3-0, it doesn't tell the storyline. It's these individual ones. If you're watching at home, map by map, you will see these teams battling out. But at the moment, the Spanish finally getting back into it.
Yeah, and that was so important. Like, I cannot emphasize just how important that was for Giants to get it in play day 1 of week 2 as well, not waiting it right down to your final game.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that was a curse they needed to break as soon as possible. They played 2 games, didn't pick up a map. Now, before it gets out of hand, they've done it. They've done one step in the right direction for a victory. Of course, sitting 0-2 currently. Can they do one better? Can they pick up an uplink win?
I think this is the time to do it, and at the moment, they know they had such a tough hard point, but they bounced back in great fashion. They've almost took it to a nail-biting win themselves, so they've flipped it right on its head. And going into this, they must have so much motivation. They must be saying, we could have won the hard point. We let it slip. We've won the Search and Destroy. Let's go and win this series. But for XL must have been coming into this hot favourites. They must have been, by all means, the favourites from everyone. But they find themselves in a 1-1, they might be thinking, we could be 2-0 down here, boys. You know, we need to step it up. They need to change something, need to do it now. But of course, we will only find out when we're in the game. For sure, though, it's going to a map 4 at least. Yeah,
at least. We still haven't seen that 5th map, of course. We have already seen what happens on Capture the Flag. I am just quadruple checking, because I have a feeling in my fingers that XL have actually got so far. Yes, XL so far had a 3-0 win and then a 3-1.
Yes, that's right.
That's right,
they won, 3-0.
3-1 versus Splice and 3-0 versus Pulse.
Correct, yes.
Okay, so that does mean that so far they've only conceded 1 loss, 1 map loss.
Yeah,
so
until
Giants,
now.
Yeah, until now. So if we do see Giants not only pick up their 2nd map win, it would also be a new loss, a new kind of loss record, I guess, for the guys at Excel, who currently reside at the top of the standings, 2 wins to 0.
Yeah, and for Giants, really, it's going, you know, we had a bad week 1. Let's shake it off. Let's come back. Let's have a strong week 2. They've got, obviously, day number 1, they've got XL. Really tough ask. If they can come off with a victory here, that's massive. The Spanish at home, I can't see it, but I'm sure the support is there, you know, in the chat. I can just imagine them going, you know, through this as they win this 6-5, vamos, all that kind of crazy stuff. I love to see it. I really do. But now we have really a true battle on our hands.
Yeah, this one's going to get messy. We saw already a kind of unfold. We saw Gataga with some mad lineups that weren't quite hitting, some war run kind of routes for the 1-pointers already coming through. And so we're going to be seeing exactly how things do play out as we go into Breach.
Yeah, for me, Breach, it's all about, you know, controlling one side. No matter which way you go, as long as your team control it and they work together as a team, then that's the key for me, because it's not about the map, it's not about which way you push, it's about controlling it, outslaying your opposing team and using those specialists at the key moments, because we're going to see them as we go into it. This is different straight away. They've both been protected in map 1 and 2. Machine, they're both taken away.
All right, looks like the landscape's going to be very different for this one, and an instant specialist ban to follow that one up. I mean, essentially, I consider that the first ban. Those two are going to be staples, especially in this matchup, it seems, either protected or banned. But the third is going to be Active Camo. Who was that secured that Z, removing that one from the game?
Yeah, for me, you know, we're going to see the high caliber, the rapid fire. Probably yes, but these are more important. These two here, Overdrive, Active Camo. When it's uplink, when you can run at the speed that you can with Overdrive, and you can just turn invisible, it's so important to get rid of those. Or if you're a fan of it, even protect it, but obviously not here. Brain takes down high caliber, probably rapid fire coming in. Yes, it does. But Quicker and Legend, they have to finalize this protect and ban.
I don't think we're going to be seeing any more specialists with Overdrive and Active Camo taken. If we were, though, I mean, you've still got some survivability available. Your kinetic armor is still going to be a constant choice if it does slip through the net. But it comes down to Quicker and Legend, what they want to be removing. Both high caliber and rapid fire are taken away. We usually see both the flash and concussion taken away, but instead the mana war and the smoke.
Yeah.
And so we could be seeing a whole lot of attack mask.
I mean, the M8 was taken away, so that's when your different assault rifles come in. So that's when he's gone, right, maybe Mana War is their favoured one. We've seen them play online. We'll take that away from them. Smoke Grenade, you know, in Uplink, in Breach especially, you're going to have this kind of top rooftop area where you're going to have this little box in the middle, but everything else, that can be covered with smoke. And that's a big thing for me. You can pick up the drone, throw a couple of smokes out, and you can be out of there. You know, there's a delayed response on you with the drones. So, going to be interesting to see how that one pans out. But Nolson, I was going to say again, sticking to his guns. I'm trying not to be cliche, but he literally is sticking with that Annihilator through the thick and thin. Zed picking up Psychosis. Brain with the kinetic armor and quicker. What is he going to opt for? I'd see it more as a breaking one. He's the objective player, really, for me on this one. It's going to be Heatwave.
Okay, so double Heatwave. We're going to be seeing a Scythe from Methods, a Annihilator for Toho and UFO with the kinetic armor. In stark contrast, you know, the only kind of similarities we have are going to be kinetic armor and Heatwave. We have two very different picks for
An Annihilator.
Excuse me, you're right, Annihilator as well. It's just the Psychosis then and the Scythe that are interchangeable. It's unusual to see two Annihilators on the side of things. Obviously, Toho thinks he can kind of go toe-to-toe with Nolson in that Seraph kind of arena.
It'll be interesting which one he will. Obviously, will he be the victor of that? It's funny because all these, you know, we always say kind of going toe-to-toe. When these specialists, they're all unlocked at different stages of how you're doing. To get these specialists unlocked, you've got to get up the put, you've got to get the points, you've got to rack up the kills, the defends, everything takes into accountability to get this. So they're not unlocked at the same time. So we never see them really battling against each other. But, you know, how interesting would it to be to see like a kinetic armor versus kinetic armor? They'd be like, hang on, this isn't working.
It'd be a battle for the headshot.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Or someone popping the kinetic armor and Annihilator just saying, you know, no, you're not having that. I'm taking you down in one shot.
Can you imagine two members pop active camo at the same time and just walk past each other?
just lose each other.
Just completely lose each other. And they're on either side of the map before they realise what's happened. But yeah, we can speculate till the cows come home. We'll be seeing, though, how this one does go down very soon. If you have just joined us, guys, we're going into a guaranteed map 4, as we did see Giants secure themselves an equalizer in Search and Destroy. It's a best-of-5 series. Breach Uplink is our third map of the 5, and it does look like the classes are complete. Just score streaks to go before we can bring you your second game here in our 5-game day.
Yeah, interesting fact, actually. Me and Machine thought we'd hit a new meta to the game, which was using glitch on Capture the Flag and Uplink. You know, grabbing it, just glitching away. We were very quickly told that that is not doable. Obviously, if you pick up the flag, if you pick up the drone, and you use glitch, you will only go back to where you originally picked it up. Interesting fact, I like it. And, you know...
I mean, I can see how it could have gone, like, just too out of hand. Like, if you'd made an absolute tear on a very quick route, through a very quick map, you could almost be capping it instantly.
But talking about that map, it is Breach, and in the game mode is Uplink Unlimited Score. Hopefully we'll see some high-scoring games here, but it has been neck and neck the whole way. 5 minutes on that clock and respawn delay 5 seconds. For you guys at home, if you have missed it, the respawn of Hardpoint went 250 to 247 in favour of the boys from XL. Search and Destroy went 6-5, all down to the wire as the Spaniards fought on back. Now going into this Breach Uplink, all head-to-head.
Yeah, let's find out then if we can see anyone separate from this quite literally super... I mean, I was going to say the closest game, but you've ruined it because it could have been 249 to 250, you're right. Yeah. But still, incredibly close game. Let's see how this one starts off as the battle for early drone control begins. Quick frag for UFO. Nothing going to be happening for the guys at XL just yet, because Methods not only has got a frag, he's also got himself control of the drone. Passes off to your Legend, though.
Yeah, Legend does have that drone. I'm going to hop on board it because he's going to make an early 2-point play.
What?
He's going to go in. I thought he may have been killed mid-air, but he's not. Toho's going to lock things down, though, in this mid area. And again, they're going for a pass, and a pass to UFO. UFO's going to grab it, and he's off. Could he make this a second 2-pointer?
It should surely just be the one he's playing it safe. But what? Did that get blocked?
It got intercepted. That was I don't know why. For me, UFO, it was a very silly move. Why choose the left door when you can choose the right? It was a simple play, but here at the moment...
It has cost him. Now, though, we have to see what Toho can continue to do in middle. He's been very influential. 4 kills so far alongside UFO. Both of them really lighting up the scoreboard. Double what anything on XL have achieved in terms of kills. Right now, though, talking of kills, Legend not interested in any of that because he's going for the objective play. Toho is still clearing out middle for his teammate, while Legend considers this run through the right-hand side.
Yeah, only Nolson is here to block him, and he's going to do exactly that. Sees one. UFO got to be able to capitalize on that. He's 5-1. Toho's 7-1, surely shut down by quicker. This could be a 1-point play.
I think he knows it as well. He's going to try and... Oh, he saw him. He's just going for the 1. He wasn't even interested in taking that long route. He could very well have kind of considered a 2-pointer. Not worth the risk. And already, Giants have started with a bang. 3-0, and we haven't seen too much drone control from XL. In fact, have we seen any?
I don't think so. I mean, there's been an interception here and there, but no one pushing their base. Nolson's going to be backed up, though, by Zed. He's waited for his teammate. Zed gets shut down. Now, can Nolson go alone?
This is a tough one to get the 1 pointer for, because as soon as you're out the door, you get greedy, you consider it, but oh, beautiful. MR6 was not enough, and he did just slide his way to victory to close that gap and close it pretty damn close. 2-3 then, as that 2-pointer, a risky maneuver, does work for XL.
Yeah, Quicker picking up 2 huge frags there, nearly the third. Nolson's going to pick up the drone. I'm going to hop on board with him because he's going for this right-hand side push, going for a 1-pointer, lines it up. Bingo, it's 3-3. They're back in the game. Zed just has to fend off Giants whilst they respawn.
Well, I mean, 40 seconds pass and already they find the equalizer that took 3 minutes for Giants to find, or just under, excuse me, but still 10 for Toho. He's fragging in middle, but there's only so much that's going to get for you. He knows it's also an objective-based game, and that, my friends, is why he has that drone in his hands. He's not sure if he got spotted. He has this horrible decision to make as he is being hunted on the rooftops. He needs to find their head, and his accuracy isn't quite on his side as they're going to be recovering that one. Nolson is going to be wielding the drone for now as he's considering a 1-pointer. Nope, that's going to get reset straight into the palm tree. And we have still 2 minutes in our first half.
Yeah, it's a tough one that, because even though Nolson got took down, teammate could have taken over. Unfortunately, the drone does fall. And resets. Toho jumping, pouncing on top of that, does get stunned. This is what happens when you don't ban the stun. It gets involved with the game. And now, all things loose. UFO picks up the drone. UFO's going to actually make that. He used his kinetic armor. 5-3 now. 2 minutes left on the clock.
Well, you answered my question. How did he survive? Well, kinetic armor, my friends, is all you need to pick up that one. That's a 2-pointer that does again separate themselves from XL. So much time still on the clock, though. I mean, 1 minute 40, the whole game could completely change. It looks like Legend's going to be the first man to try and do just that. He's already halfway there. He's going to come and take contact with one. It was quicker, though, on the defense. And Legend, while Heatwave does manage to get the melee just as his vision cleared. Now he's in trouble, though. It doesn't look likely to be getting a 1-pointer.
He actually made the 1-point play. He threw it through. Wasn't even quick. He was too quick for me, as UFO now picks up another drone. Toho is 14-6. He's the man to watch at the moment. Does get taken down by Quicker. Potential 1-point play. Ooh, nearly sneaks away, but Quicker, too quick for you. He's going to pick it up now. 1 minute left on the clock. He needs to get back in this game, and with a 2-pointer or 1-point play, he can close the gap. You
said it before, you said uplink comes down to slaying, and there's just not enough of it on the side of XL. Almost every single member, in fact, all of them on Giants are in double digits. Just one for XL has managed to breach 10. Now we see just how powerful that slaying potential is. Toho's on his way again. He is, of course, leader of the slaying pack. He has his Annihilator available. I assume he's going to be saving that, because right now he's got other things on his mind. Surely the 1 point. It is. Plays it safe, and that's 7.
Yeah, smart 1-point play there. Obviously, 4 points to change this. Can Zed get anything before the game goes? Now, who has got that drone? I think a pass has come in to Brain. He gets taken down by Toho as he's got the Annihilator out. Can he make another through the wall? Nolson feels it. Oh my goodness, this is getting better and better as it goes on. And Toho is on an absolute tear. 3-kill streak, 18-8.
Yeah, and all of them are from the Annihilator. That's 4, a very effective use of that weapon, that specialist weapon, in fact. And now 8 seconds left. Does look like Toho's in trouble, though. 5 seconds. He's not going to be able to get the 1 point. His teammate is going to try, though. UFO goes for it. It is going to be just out of time, and it's going to end 3-8.
Yeah, 8-3 in favor of Giants. Now, they started strong in the hard point, you know, they lost it. They started, you know, a bit rough in the search and destroy. They fought back. All they need to do now is just hang on to what they have. He did get the game. He did get it in. Sorry, because he made the one. It was only a 1-point play though. It was 7-3. It was 7-3. They extended it to 8-3.
I thought the time stopped just before he got it in, but it must have just been enough.
Was down to the wire, that is for sure. But let's see what XL can do. You know, we've got XLZ. He was on a 1.8 KD. Hasn't done that for sure. And these previous couple of games on the flank. Let's see what he can do.
I like the look of this one. He's going to be shooting the toes off of Methods. He's going to be coming up towards that second level as well, trying to clear out middle. Of course, Toho did such a great job of it in the previous half, but he's just been eliminated by Zed. Psychosis available, and that's going to enable him to try and breach. Again, Legend down, and Zed, he heard what you said, Momo, and he is on a tear.
Yeah, Nolson hopping on board, makes the dunk, 2-point play. Methods trying to answer back with the scythe, but he is shut down quickly by Zed. He's 5-0. I'm staying on board with him, even though the drone is going to go again to Nolson, this objective beast at the moment. Makes the pass, and it's got to be a play. No, Methods answers back. That drone is loose, though.
That was the pass. That was if the pass had been better, we could have seen 2 points. Nolson rushed it a little bit. He's only sitting at 5 for 17. Not the best game from him, and that has cost his team a potential to, like, kind of, I was going to say equalizer, but 7-8.
Yeah, 100%. But Zed is heating up. We said he's not done much this game. Now 15-15. Evening things up. Nolson with this Annihilator again. Will he make as much of an impact as Toho did?
We'll find out. It should have been one. He does get kind of lined up and given to him, but he's coming up high. He's not going to be ready for that one, and that's going to be a great trade from Legend. 2, in fact, for him before finally going down as Zed tries to clean up for his teammates' shortcomings. And look at this from Methods. He's going to get completely thrown out. His vision completely obscured, and a good defense coming in from Quicker.
Yeah, Tohor's going to put in the 2-point play, though. Lightning Strike going to come in. Interesting one for me, because the 2 players fought the guys on Giants who's already infiltrated the base. They've kind of used their streaks just to make sure they've got enough time here to rotate back, get this drone. They've done exactly that, and now Legend, 17 and 15. He's got the drone. Zed, though, answering back, going tick for tack here. Cannot stay on board with anyone who is alive.
Yeah, we are just on the hunt for someone that's living for longer than 5 seconds. Just as you thought you'd found one, Methods does get taken down by Quicker as the run is on. UFO actually taking that one back towards his spawn. It's sometimes a bit of a risky maneuver, but I think he's going to go ahead and kind of go for the long route. The reason being he has kinetic armor. He knows if he can just get close, he can pick up a 2-pointer.
Yeah, has he got Afterburner? Yes, he has. This is why... Momo, eat your words. This is how good an Afterburner is, and we could see him play. Is he just, you know, is he doing exactly what, you know, the French did? Take it back to their base, play it slow.
He's going back again.
He's having a good time, I tell you that.
This is smart. I love this from UFO. Basically kind of keeping it completely out of harm's way. There's no way they're going to reach him unless they kind of have Afterburner, as well as also a kind of aware can break through his defensive line. Instead, UFO's just going to be playing the time. He's having a dance. He's having the time of his life as he continues to move back and forth. And there's only one way to find him. That was it. And oh, he gets the melee. It's going to reset. Brain not smart enough. And that's going to be a huge pickup for Giants. Nolson does recover it from the reset, though.
Yeah, it gets taken down. It was the kinetic armor which enabled him to get that play. But now, see what Methods can do. He's got the drone, throws it away. Prefers using his weapon. I would as well. But man of the moment, 30 and 15 Tohor. I mean, Giants 1-1 at the moment. Can they take the lead for the first time in the series? Only 100 seconds left on the clock as Methods falls. Let's see what Tohor's doing.
Let's see exactly what he's doing. Well, he's got the Annihilator out. We saw how he picked up 4 beforehand with that one, and just the tip of a head is all he needs to find that frag. Does take down Nolson with a bullet to his Brain and looking for another one towards middle. They're going to be coming out fast, though. Too fast for him, as XR2 from Brain is enough. Quick pick up from Methods. He's going to pick up another one. So surely not a third. Oh, my God, they're lining up, and he's going to knock them down as he just goes for a cheeky 3-piece, tries to throw it into his opponent's hands. It's just back and forth. Look at this. A little bit of tennis here on Breach. And now we have to see just how much further this one can go.
And with time ticking away, though, it's looking ever so difficult for the boys on XL. They had such a strong start. Now they've got a mountain to climb if they can come back with a minute left. 5 points down. It is a 3-point play. And for me, it looks all game over. And for me, I don't want to point fingers, but Brain and Nolson not having the best of games at all here.
Yeah, I mean, Nolson only just got his 10th. It really has been a tough one for him, and it was not only that, but his passing, it was a little left something to be desired. And look at this movement from UFO. Not something you so often see. He manages to completely evade that rooftop wall run. He is going to get tagged up. Oh my God, he got so damn far. Finally, Nolson finds his 11th, and we're going to be seeing 28 seconds left. We know Giants have picked this one up, and it does look like we're going to be seeing a full potential 5 maps.
Yep. I mean, this, to me, I mean, I'm calling it now. With 17 seconds, as XL make a 2-point play, to do this twice again in 10 seconds is not going to happen. As look at the slaying power from the Spanish. You're talking about map 5. We can see, I mean, we've pushed to map 4 100% here. But if XL take this search and destroy, sorry, capture the flag.
There we go.
They will push it to a search and destroy.
They absolutely would, and that is one of the kind of most heavy scoring-based uplinks we've seen. I mean, if not to just today, but also this week, or last week, excuse me. 10-7, 17 points accumulated on either side of things. And you know what? This also raises Tohor sitting there in the final kill cam. Makes me think a little bit about that ban and protect. Reminds me about that M8 protect we saw from the Spanish beforehand. And if you can be so effective with the XR2, you saw what happened to Nolson when he had no M8. You saw what happened to him. Tohor's just gone and dropped 30 with the XR2. You just straight up take that M8 away from XL, and they just looked like they were limping.
Yeah. And if they do, I would suspect the Spanish will do the same. It worked well for them. Yeah. And again, you know, it's probably the biggest margin. Even though 3 points is the biggest margin we've seen in all 3 games. We saw 3 points in the hard point, 1 point in the search and destroy. Again, 3 in the uplink, capture the flag. It can only go one way, and that's down to the wire. But XL now in a position they need to win this to stay in the game.
Absolutely, they do. And I mean, Excel, a team that we have been singing their praises. They picked up big wins against big teams. You know, Splice comes to mind already. They've done, of course, in previous tournaments as well. We've seen just a little taste of them in Black Ops 3, and they're ready. They look good.
Yeah.
Now, Giants, not only have they picked up one map, they've doubled their overall map score so far. And now they're looking to do even one better and pick up a win, get off that horrible 0W on their standings, excuse me.
LDLC have done it. You know, they picked up the first win of the season. Can the boys from Spain do it? For me, the first thing they've done, the first step, they've put up a map.
Yeah.
Now they've taken 2. Can they go better? Can they take the 3rd? Can they get the first victory? For me, this is the game to do it. And against Excel, such a strong opponent, they must be feeling the pressure here. 2-1 down, going into map number 4, capture the flag. But I've got to say, hats off to the Spanish. They've really brought their game. They've improved since game week 1.
And we are still seeing people going for Zed. Tony Stewart says, if you think anyone else, you're deluded. A real advocate for Zed. I mean, he's making a big case for him. We didn't actually see too much from Zed, actually. You know, looking at, if you're going by the scoreboard, he was middle of the pack. Last week, I would have been like, of course. But this week, I mean, other members of Excel have been there.
Toho, one to watch, definitely. I mean, yes, we've only just seen the finalising game of that, but the Spanish, for me, I'm thinking back to the Search and Destroy and who stood out. I'm sure there was one player, I think Methods wasn't pulling his weight in the Search and Destroy, but someone was hitting 11 kills early on. My mind goes blank thinking back, but yes, you know, Zed, phenomenal player, young talent coming up the rising the rank, should I say, very, very quickly. One to watch, obviously, for the whole season. Yeah. But for me, I think that last map definitely Toho.
110%. Really kind of showing just how one player can make a big difference in uplink. Like, he was, at the start, he got like 3 early kills and completely opened up middle, and then proceeded to basically tell Excel that if they wanted to start making successful runs, it would have to be using the side lanes. Yeah. Middle was like shut. He put a big stop sign outside and said, no, you're not coming through. And he was so effective at doing so, he accumulated so many kills. Every time Excel tried it, tested it, thought middle might be open, Toho was there. But that wraps it up. That's kind of going to be Breach said and done. We turn our attention to Fringe then, and that's going to be on Capture the Flag. I always think, and I'm pretty sure we've seen a trend already start to develop, that teams that are good at uplink, usually you'd expect to be good at Capture the Flag.
100%. It's that kind of same meta towards the games. The same score sheets will be used. The same specialists will be used. But for me, I mean, yes, it was a 3-point game there, but I would say that you know, Excel aren't out with this. You know, I wouldn't say that Giants was so much better at uplink that they're definitely going to take the Capture the Flag. For me, it's all about the start of Capture the Flag. We saw in the first game, it was Tony, I believe, from LDLC. He basically sat back, got his score streaks up, and it won him the game in the end, at the end of the day. They played a little more passively. It can go the opposite. It can be, you know, to your downfall if you play too passively. You've got to find that balance there. But for me, going into this one, XL are not a passive team. They're not one to sit back. They're going to get in the face. Your Zeds, your Quickers, they're going to be breaching the base of the Spanish. But for me, I think the Spanish may play slower, more reserved, and it could work for them. So
you do not think there is, you know how you said there's a balance when it comes to playing that kind of anchor role towards the back of the site? We see, another one.
I don't know if I'm missing something here.
David this time, big fan of Zed.
David Moore there, Zed all the way, he says. I mean, I'm going to hop on board straight away with Zed on this next one, because I want to see what I'm missing almost from him. But we'll definitely see more of that. What you were saying?
Sorry, I had a point to make. What was it? It was that, you know how you said there's a balance? Like, sometimes it can be the death of you when you play too passive?
Yes.
I mean, do you not think we saw a prime example of, like, how you can quite literally be back against the wall at spawn, but still somehow be unpredictable enough so that you can, like, I mean, Tony was a great example of that, and I think is how do you strike that balance?
It's a great example, but the one thing that I would say is, if you're defending, you're pushing yourself right back to your base. So, say if you're middle of the map, you're right in the face of each other. If you die, then you're going to get that chance to respawn as they push up. If you're defending, you're probably in the advantageous spot. If then you die, there's no time for them to push up. They're already there. They can grab the flag and they're out of there. It's pretty much game over. That's their flag. But it is kind of that risk-reward. If you probably give yourself an 80-20% chance of winning the gunfight. If you lose that gunfight, though, you're in trouble if you're in your own base. You do not want to be dying in your own base, because if you do, that's where the opposition will jump on the flag and they'll be out of there. They'll be using their overdrives. They'll be popping their specialists left, right, and
center.
center.
You just have to sit back and watch as they kind of walk into the sunset. Right.
But it worked for LDLC. It's one of those kind of, do we sit back, do we play more reserved, or do we just go all out? Because if I'm playing really aggressive, if I'm going straight up into the enemy's face and I'm in their base and I die, I'm like, no problem, I'll respawn in 7.5 seconds. They're not going to get from their base to mine in that time. So it's all tactical awareness. You've got to be thinking. Call of Duty for myself is all about the brain.
Yeah, and well, brain is actually present in this
so
one. You
cliche. Didn't mean it.
You can't stop. You cannot stop. I feel like I'm rubbing off on you in a bad way.
I mean, the cheesiness is...
It's getting even worse.
Yeah. I mean, the Annihilator, it's like almost becoming natural.
Who are you? I feel like I've inspired
changed.
you.
Evil.
I'm a villain, truly. But before we kind of jump into this one, it does look like we're just waiting for a couple of players to get themselves in. I love the way you've explained this idea of like you are investing so much into holding that one. Like, yes, you've got an advantage because you're in a power position.
Yeah.
They have to check all their corners. But if you do die, you've kind of thrown it all away, and that run will come through. But then do you not think it just all comes down to that balance? Like, if you leave one there, but you've still got those 3 aggressive players pushing out, you have these kind of 3 different veins you can kind of rely on.
Yeah.
That's where you see, I'm understanding now the word balance. It suddenly makes a whole lot more sense to me.
And that's why you get more roles in Capture the Flag. And for me, that's why Capture the Flag has always been a game mode which is so tactical, because it's all about timing. You'll see players just sat in the enemy base, they'll be waiting, they'll be waiting. 2 other teammates pick up a couple of frags, you're on that flag so quick, and you're out of there because your teammates have your back. You play the numbers game. And for all you guys at home who are new to Capture the Flag, maybe you don't play this as much as the other game modes, your hardpoint, your search and destroys. This is definitely one to get involved with. It's a really fun game mode, and for me, it's one of the most interesting to watch, especially when it's played correctly.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just having a quick look at kind of the stats surrounding Capture the Flag for Excel. And who would you say, without looking...
Okay.
I saw your eyes darting to my screen.
Too far away for me to read.
Who would you say, without looking, had the most caps on Excel?
The most caps, I would go for Quicker.
Little did you know, it's Zed. Zed has the most followed up.
Maybe this is what I'm missing.
This is it. Yeah, he's doing objective play that we aren't realizing.
Because if you said who's got the most kills, I would say, yeah, Zed's your Slayer.
Yeah.
I mean, have you got the figures exactly for the
I have
caps
indeed.
there?
So basically, because we haven't seen too much Capture the Flag, so far what we're looking at is we see Zed sitting on 2 caps, everyone else sitting around the kind of 0.
Which is a lot for 1 game.
For exactly 1 game, and then we see, I think it's Nolson. Yeah, Nolson just had the 1.
Okay.
So, I mean, yes, the stats will get much more kind of telling as the game types go on. You have to remember, Capture the Flag is only on that 4th. So you're not necessarily going to be seeing as many Capture the Flag games, especially at the start when people are starting to try to find their pace and everything. But just in that 1 game alone, Zed and it was Nolson, the 2 objective players for Capture the Flag.
How interesting is it going to be when we're on like week 7 and we're going, let's think back, have a look at the stats, and we just say, Quicker has captured 50% of their flags, or things like that. That's when we're talking like 10, 12, 15 flags. But obviously, we'll try and bring you as many interesting, obviously, facts and stats, if you like, for the Call of Duty World League. Stay with us, of course. This Capture the Flag. I'm excited to get on board, but the pressure that XL must be feeling right now, they're 2-1 down. Giants potentially could finish this here. We said it about LDLC. Could we be seeing 2 games back-to-back which go to the underdog?
It's possible, and I think we're going to take this opportunity to let you guys know about the forthcoming patch and the kind of what's going to be going on there. So the story is, patch is going to be released kind of slap bang in the middle of our show. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. In fact, I believe it is right now. This is it. This is the moment when the patch has been released. If you're playing Call of Duty if you're playing Call of Duty yourself, you'll know that the patch is currently being kind of released, and that, my friends, is why we are not jumping into our Capture the Flag game just yet. So while that's going down, people are patching, people are getting back into the game. We're going to be seeing kind of intriguing to see how the landscape will change and whether or not those changes that are being made. I think there's a lot of speculation that it's going to be focusing towards the movement changes. Is that what I've heard?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of speculation, but that is the key word, speculation. You don't really know. For me, in a patch, there's nothing so major that will change the game. There's no guns going to be removed or specialists.
Can you imagine? Well, the M8 and Vespa have been removed.
Yeah.
Welcome to the new Ban and Protect.
But, I mean, it's not ideal, but it is what it is.
Yes.
At the end of the day. And for me, this is where your gun skill and your kind of knowledge goes out the window, and it's all about communication and, you know, other factors that come into Call of Duty. Because people will go, are you a smart team or are you a team with gun skill? For me, those are two of probably 10 other things that come with Call of Duty. You've got awareness, you've got movement, you've got a whole list of things that you need to have in your utility belt. That's the one I was thinking of.
I like it. Good word.
But you know, they'll all be joining back very shortly and hopping into the game.
I think it's going to be kind of sooner rather than later. I think everyone's already patched, to be honest. I think it's quite a small one, quite a quick one. But the one point I think we need to start talking about then is this map in general for Capture the Flag. What did we see already? You said already we had that anchor player, or rather the kind of, you know, player playing the spawn, playing it very passively and kind of trying to take that risk. What else have we been seeing? I'm trying to think back to that Capture the Flag game, and you know what we did see was Tony playing this very, very ridiculous role whereby he would be, for 50% of the time, he was right back at base, Target having problems with him, but then all of a sudden you cut back to him again and he's in the middle of the map going for some sort of weird run. That's
it, and I think, you know, he'll sit back, he'll pick up a few kills, but he would only push out when he knows 100% he's safe to do so, push up to a pout position. And that's where he can guarantee himself maybe another kill, another 2, rack up the score streaks. As you see there on your screens, is 7.5 respawn delay, so you can really, you know, if you pick up 3 kills, you know that there's only one player on the map for 7.5 seconds, and that 7.5 seconds by all means is a long time in game. Of course, you can do a lot with that time, especially with all the specialists. Things like overdrive, you can be 3/4 away. In fact, you probably capture a flag. I have no stats on how quick around you can get.
That's something I think
7.5 seconds. You probably get from one side to the other with overdrive.
Our Thursday, Phil.
Yeah.
We're going to come in and we're going to be little losers. We're going to get stopwatches out. And we're going to sit there and go like, because that could make our casting so nuts if we literally go like from the rough spawns, we'd do like we'd work out an average, but it'd be like, oh, on average it takes about 9 seconds to run from this point to that. Oh my god.
To capture a flag on Fringe, the minimum time is 9 seconds. Maximum is probably 1 million hours because you just round. Anyway, into the protect and ban. The M8 is taken away, but as Zed, he actually chooses to ban the active camo. That gives the Spanish actually a chance to protect the Vesper. So the Spanish have had their choice on weapons. Interesting one.
Yeah, so immediately, straight off the bat, they're the ones with control. And you know what we were asking for? That M8 to be taken away. Because the Spanish were choosing to take away the M8, that does, of course, raise that discussion we had previously about Toho being so influential with the XR2. Nolson was absent, as was Brain. Both of those players were really kind of bottom of the scoreboard for XL, and that was in the absence of the M8. Maybe the same trend will continue, and Giants could pick themselves up a win, as they currently sit 2-1 in terms of maps.
I love this. Just looking at it, I mean, Zed taking away a specialist, another specialist from XL, you know, a tactical from XL. But from the flip side, you know, UFO picking weapons, Toho another weapon, and attachments for Legend there. So really kind of showing the how varied it all is there. But kinetic armor, the last one to be banned. Now, as the guys create all their classes, for me, the important ones was the specialist there. We saw kinetic armor taken away, and we also saw active camo. That leaves... was overdrive available, was it? I think overdrive was still available.
Overdrive got taken away.
Oh, was taken away. For me, I was a bit
overdrive.
surprised about that, but of course, I was wrong. But Heat Wave, that's going to be a big one. Toho with the Annihilator. I've got to say, is Nolson going to stick with this Annihilator?
He hasn't kind of made a strong case for it.
No, he seems to pick up 1, maybe 2. I mean, Toho looked hot with it, and I can see why he's picking that one again. But maybe we've just not seen the best of Nolson yet.
Yeah, well, we'll be finding out. Whoa, that almost gave me like a kind of a vocal crutch as he picked that one up. As we're going to be seeing the Vision Pulse make an appearance from Brain. Double Scythe, though. Nolson said goodbye to the Annihilator. We asked if it was really worth it for him, and I think he's picked a kind of a much wiser choice. He's going to be more likely to pick up more kills with the Scythe.
Yeah, there's only one I'm looking at, and you know it. Is Brain in that Vision Pulse. He's changing things up, and, you know, it's going to be one to watch for sure. We'll have to jump on board when he does. Of that Vision Pulse for you guys at home, when he does use it, sends out this pulse, literally, which goes throughout the map, and it will pick up on players nearby and then highlight them in that red, vibrant color. So a lot easier to see. Almost gives you that kind of, you know, just to see through walls for about 2-3 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it's enough to make the call. I feel like in my book, it's just one tier below, one peg below, bringing out that lightning strike and making the call. It's just another way of establishing the kind of intel that you otherwise would not have access to.
At the end of the day, all these specialists are is to basically help you and aid you in the position you are. So just running through them quickly. I mean, Psychosis, gives you more chance of surviving. Heat Wave, again, more chance of surviving. Vision Pulse gives you that knowledge of where they may be, and Scythe just giving you that extra kind of firepower behind you. So they're just aiding you in what you would normally do with your normal weapons, but obviously for a very, very limited amount of time. Of course, if we saw these throughout, it would be a very, very interesting one to say the least. But quickly running through it, XL, Zed, Quicker Brain, and Nolson. Psychosis, Heatwave, Vision Pulse, and Scythe.
And for Giants, then, the Spaniards, who are looking to potentially break their curse. Not only have they picked up a map win for the first time, could they pick up a win for the first time here in the COD World League. UFO on Psychosis, Toho on Annihilator, Legend bringing the heat, and Methods with Scythe. We'll be seeing then how this one can play out. Just a couple of seconds left, but while the score streaks do get changed up, and we're jumping into Fringe, Capture the Flag. Will we see a fifth map? Will this go quite literally all the way? You know, we've been asking you guys since the start of the stream, which series do you think is going to go to the full 5 maps? And no one, I don't think, has kind of messaged us yet. And if they have, please do correct us with the hashtag CWL PS4. As you know, it would have expected to see this one, Giants, taking it all the way to 5 potentially, if not rounding it out in 4.
Yeah, I mean, this one's got the capability of going the whole way. Fringe Capture the Flag, unlimited score, 5 minutes on that clock, and 7.5 second respawn. Fringe, one of those maps which I love to play. Just the 3 lanes which are available, that back red barn, that here white Grommar's house, as they label it. But I did say I was going to jump on board with Zed. I said I was going to say, what am I missing? Literally everyone is saying this is the man to watch. Talking about mans, he's picked the Man of War with that RK5 in his back pocket.
Let's see where he chooses to go with that one. Of course, RK5 is for that just kind of close quarters. Man of War not thriving with its low fire rate for that, but already another assault rifle player has drawn blood. Toho now down. Legend responds again, as we are going to be seeing a lot of kind of assault rifle play. With the absence of the M8, though, it's going to be Man of Wars. It seems to be the weapon of choice so far.
Yeah, and UFO picking up that first flag. Not going to hop on board with him. Wise decision, because he gets taken down. Toho answering back to Brain, though. And now we see, in fact, it's Toho, who's just playing a bit sneaky, could pull the flag.
I think he's going to go for it as well. No, there's a teammate just around the corner. It's going to be easily held by Zed, actually really maneuvering across this map. He's covered the entirety of its width already. 4 minutes on the clock, and Zed's just retreating back into Barn to chill it out, as there is one man overextending. Who is that from Giants? Who is on the hunt close to that flag? I think it's gonna be...
It's UFO.
No surprises there with that Vespa. He gets tagged up, but he's still breathing just for now. Wild spray with that flag in his hand. He is surely going to go down, and he does. His teammates just weren't there. There was no support framework set, and it does cost him his life.
This is what we see. 2 players, Legend and Methods, who's just going to post up as teammates come in, but quicker. The aggressive SMG. He's going to get in the face now of the Spanish. See what he can do. 3 minutes 40 left on the clock. 0-0 at this stage. Quicker trying to change that 0-3 at the moment. Gonna go down 0-4. Has that tough job of breaking the Spanish wall. Ooh, which one is it?
Yeah, he knows.
I got confused.
Zed caught a glimpse. He knew there was a kind of a process of elimination. Just 2 potential Psychosis clones it could have been. And actually, talking of Psychosis, he has one available as well. But that's not really going to be implemented for the defense. Zed holding this very differently to we saw Tony holding it in the previous game. Toho onto Nolson, though. And still 3 minutes on the clock. And the only kind of extensions we've been seeing have been from UFO for Giants.
The only thing that's sticking out for me is Zed's on 3-0, obviously playing for those score streaks. Only going to jump on board with him for a second to see his position.
Toho's got 4, though.
Yeah, I mean, Toho, he has 4. Oh, he's on a 4-kill streak as we say that. He's opted for a Lightning Strike, Hellstorm, and he has that Cerberus. If he can pick this up, he's going to be closer. He's going to take down Zed. That's a massive kill there for the Giants, and he's going to get shut down by Nolson, but that's important, taking Zed off his score streak.
Yeah, that was a real kind of step in the right direction. He, of course, did lose out on his as well. The Vision Pulse has yet to make an appearance, but you can see that's getting closer and closer before we see some Outrider plays. We'll see how outrageous it does get. No, Methods takes him down nice and quickly. 2.5 minutes then left on that clock, and UFO, is it 3rd time's the charm? He knows it's not going to be unguarded. Nice little bit of movement to try and catch one off. Zed does go down, but immediately traded by Nolson. Nolson, kind of the unsung hero so far. Those 3 kills have all been in that kind of defensive stance, stopping UFO from making the run.
Yeah, and Methods and Toho, they're the guys at the back. They're the guys holding... Oh, no, sorry, Toho in the enemy base. Getting confused there myself. Methods is the one to be playing slow. He's the one racking up the score streaks. But for me, bringing up that minimap, this is where XL are going to go for it. Zed, he's the man, he's pushing up. He's obviously lacked his score streaks, but now Psychosis is going to come into play. He's going to spot one, and Tahor feels the wrath of Zed as Man of War comes into play. Now the flag, surely he's going to be taken away, but Methods still locking it down.
Look at that minimap.
In and out.
They have gone so aggressive, and Nolson just trying to get away, trying to keep his life flowing through his veins, but no, not going to be happening. Instead, 1 minute 20, now it falls to quicker. He's got himself a HCXD, a dart, and a heat wave all available, all at his disposal, but that's not going to stop the Annihilate as it clips his shoulder. It's going to be retrieved by Zed, though, and he's going to try and continue where his teammate left on, but Tahor just goes off, exploding across the map with his Annihilator, still 2 bullets in the chamber, and doesn't look like he's going to be finding too much more with that one, and it now comes down to Legend as he's trying to take a little bit of a run for himself.
Yeah, and he's actually got the support of his teammates. The only person who's going to stop him, who I'm jumping on board with, is Quicker. And he's going to get taken down.
No, that's horrible for him. UFO's got double. Vespa down. Those 2 overextending players now from XL have now been eliminated. We are potentially going to be seeing a cap, just potentially though, because look at that. Zed saves the day.
Did you see how close that was as he fell there? Methods comes in, swoops in the flag capture. Trophy systems go down, and now they post up. Now they defend for their lives. They want this victory, and you understand it. They've had a rough start, and this, for the last 30 seconds, surely is going to be a defense for the Spanish.
Yeah, I mean, they do not need to move. All eyes in the defensive corner. They just need to try and keep Nolson away from this one. He's heavily tagged up already, opting for a fresh magazine for some unknown reason. Not going to keep him alive, though. Tahor and UFO having no problems with this one. 15 seconds. Brain on the offensive, but I mean, 15 seconds surely isn't enough, especially when you've got Giants under your skin. 13 for Tahor as he continues this heavy fragging spree. And again, talking of continues, Nolson, bottom of the scoreboard again.
Yeah, 4 and 11, not having the best of games. For me, this is going to be a tough ask for the guys on XL now. They're 2-1 down in their series. They're 1-0 down. And, you know, I've experienced both the Spanish and I've experienced both the Giants play style previously. There's a, you know, it will go down now to very defensive play for definitely Methods. And you might also see probably Legend, if anyone join him. UFO might kind of try these sneaky plays. We'll have to wait and see. I'm guessing Method's going to go right to the back there. 5 and 2. Let's just see if he does.
Can we just, let's just watch Giants set up now, because we know that to win this game, XL have to break through this. So looking at the defense, and you know, you expected it. So far, hasn't happened. Methods is going to be going towards middle. They are setting themselves up on barn on either side towards long, towards that train area. And they are just, I think this is it. I think this is where they spread themselves out. They're not going to move in muscle. Just UFO, as you expected, anticipated, is going to be the one on the overextension. But look at this, though. XL have broken through the lines already. The Cerberus is on the walk around. We're going to be seeing how much more damage that can do. Was rather unimpactful in that Stronghold game.
This is what I talked about. When you die in your own base, it is really, really punishing. And that is when the flag is going to go away. 3 members go down, for Giants. That's a 7.5 respawn. Looking at this mini-map now, it has got to be a flag cap here for the boys on XL. And that is the high risk, high reward. And XL just done the unthinkable. They're back in it. 1-1 unless that. Oh, he does get it in. I just heard that lightning strike coming. I was panicking for a second.
Yeah, and I mean, XL have just completely changed the face of this game. Giants are really quite literally, I think that's a perfect way to summarize it quick. A fist to the face of Legend as they let them know that this next 4 minutes is not going to be defensive. They now have to make the move, as it's going to be once again back to a level playing field. It took a long time for Giants to manage to pick up that one, and now it's the same case again. Tahor's the one to try and do it, and looks like they've got a really good setup. All 4 members just suddenly going on the offensive. You're like, message received. We're going to go aggressive. We're going to go as a unit. And they can only assume that their flag itself is going to be scooped up any second now. Yeah,
Method's picking up the double as well. Really, it was just kind of a counter cap. We saw XL do very, very well. But again, kill after kill. Tahor is the man of the moment. We saw him on the uplink, you know, really dropping bombs now. 18 and 7 in the capture the flag. Really laying down the law with his man of war.
You're a poet and you didn't know it.
Oh, yes.
As they're going to be looking towards Truckers, just catch the dome of Nolson. He's gone. And there's another one there towards window. Not going to happen. The Cerberus still hungry for kills. Haven't been given too many of him just yet. And Tahor breaching 20 before some people even hit 10 could be something to write home about. UFO doing what UFO does best, though. Look at this positioning.
I miss UFO in the CUDA. I really do.
It's like he's being forced to play the Vesper because it's available. As he caught glimpses of someone towards Train. I think he's going to probably go for that exchange. Yes, he's got it, and now that Psychosis is available, it does enable him to just get a little bit of additional cover. If he picks this one up, Giants' lead will be very tough for XL to overcome. There is a man there to pick it up, though. Look at that. Zed's causing havoc. They need to catch him. They do. Tohor's Annihilator, but he's not going to be able to return it. This is quite chaotic here on Fringe. Methods and UFO, the two left standing for Giants, and it does look like UFO's going to manage to make something happen if they can return it.
Oh, this, I can't even get on. I'm trying to...
Where's UFO?
Someone a little bit closer. Where is he? Legend's the only one left alive, and he's not going to go in. The flag's returned 2-1, and now this is the counter cap. This is where they can really capitalize on it. Zed is the man of the moment. He's going straight through the minimap because he knows that time is ticking. He's going to find people behind him, but look at that minimap. He's away. The Psychosis helps as well, and they're back in this game. It is 2-2. Oh, my goodness. It is going down to the tooth and nail here. Machine. I really don't know which
closer. This really has been a game to remember. You just cast your mind back to that hard point so long ago, and it's really excruciating to see just how close this one could be taken away from Giants. Just kind of teetering on the end of that spawn point. He's going to bring out the HCXD to play. Then it's just going to be a very short journey for him before he does catch the heels of UFO on the rush once again. No surprises there. Just 10 kills for him in contrast to Tohor's 20, but Tohor's gone as well. Zed behind the magic as the Vision Pulse is available for the third time. Brain yet to really get too much use out of this one. We'll see as he goes for that same safe route back towards Train. And again, this time actually he did catch a glimpse of someone behind him. Not interested, as is this going to be the third?
Yeah, Bodyguard Zed here coming in, and that's going to be a play. XL take the lead first time here. Oh, my goodness. I mean, we're going back and forth. We've only got 60 seconds, and now you're forcing the Spanish to come out of their base. You're forcing them now to play for the victory.
They need to, and it does look like Giants are kind of off to a very poor start. Just Legend, I say just Legend, he's got 2. And now it looks like Zed's going to take a leaf out of his bulk with a double of his own. Just bikes straight on back. He's got a Lightning Strike to use as well, so running's going to be all the more dangerous for the Giants side. The spawns do come in, of course, 7.5 seconds for that one. It does take a long time to get back into the game, and Lightning Strike calls are going to be made. He's going to be calling out exactly the locations of these rushes. 30 seconds. Giants, they need to do everything, and they need to do it now. Legends, he's finding frags, but it's not enough. It does come down to what Zed can do if he scoops it up, and now he just plays the game of survival. Yeah, Flag still in his base. One thing that Zed can do really is really toy with the heart of Giants. It's 3-2 at the moment, but it is not over. This is still doable. Their Flag is going to come back in, and now we see mid-map. That Flag is loose. All they need is to return. No, 5 seconds. You're absolutely right. Getting carried away myself there, but we're going to a game number 5. We asked you which game is going to a 5th map, and it does look like XL Giants is going to be that one, as XL find the equalizer. Giants pushing XL to their limits, but not quite enough. A great second half from XL. That's what we're going to take away from that one, because we sat there back and we thought, okay, so after a 1-0 end to the first half, we thought Giants are going to play defensive. We're going to have a very slow-paced game from the Spanish, but immediately XL, within the first 1 minute and 30 seconds, had forced them to go on the offensive. Yeah, and it was what I kind of talked about was, if you see kind of like the map as, almost like a rectangle, you saw the Spanish kind of sit right back, and that's where it took probably about 4 or 5 waves of the British, the XL, pushing them right back, and then they got the kills in their spawn, and once they did that, they were right in the base to take the flag, and they even things up. We saw it go back and forth, but in the end, XL took it, going to a map number 5. This is kind of the tense moments which we wait for in Call of Duty. These are the kind of the exciting ones where this is, the difference between, winning, coming 3rd, 4th. This is a lot of money on the line. Absolutely, and that money costs $200,000 per stage, not even per season. That's $400,000 per season. As we are going into Search and Destroy evac as our final decider. What on earth are we being treated to this evening, Phil? We have had already a great game to start things off. LDLC versus Vitality, with LDLC picking up the win. Okay, already I'm surprised. I've already had my game of the day, and then Giants turn up and have to take a 4-5 mapper up against XL. And this is just the first 2 games, guys. We've got another 3 to follow this one. We're going to be seeing Millennium make an appearance. Infused Splice is coming up. There's so much more to look forward to, and we still haven't got the answer to who is picking up this win. One of them is sitting at 2-0. That is, of course, XL, just trying to keep that 0 flying on the standings. And for Giants, that 0 means an whole lot more, as they'd be looking for their first win. Yeah, I mean, XL could excel themselves literally to the top of the leaderboard, but Giants,
you know, they could literally fall to the very bottom. They could go 0, and they're at the bottom at the moment, 0 and 2. They could finish, you know, day number 1 literally. It'd be painful for me. I mean, I'm not Spanish, but I'm thinking about those Giants guys. I'm thinking for them to come this way, to push them to a map 5. If they take the L on this, if they go 0 and 3, it's gonna be tough. And I really don't know how they'll bounce back. Will it be positive? I don't even want to kind of think about that right now, because it all comes down to this one game. Search and destroy, you know, literally best of 11 rounds, first to 6. Every life counts.
It's gonna be so ridiculous because there's so much on the line for Giants. You've set the scene so beautifully. The fact that we've already said, and I feel like if you go back to, you know, game day 1 and day 2, we were saying Giants losses, they were close. Yeah. Giants, you know, that 0 doesn't tell the whole story. These guys really push some of the better teams in the World League. And it's just, it could go one better. And I'm almost feel like this is going to be like a self-fulfilling prophecy where it does actually happen. And I really, really, really am not going to be biased about this one. But it does look like XL and Giants are going to take this all the way. Let's not forget their previous Search and Destroy, which went to around 11. Yeah,
I mean, it went to round 11. And even then, it just kind of, all the specialists came out within about 40 seconds. And it was just... It was so entertaining to watch, and this is why Call of Duty is such a great esport. If you like, you get these certain moments in games and maps where it all comes down to probably like 5 seconds.
Or one person's decision.
Yeah, or a split decision, a reaction, a choice, just... But we'll have to wait for that. One thing I'm hoping for, and I can almost guarantee because of how the rest of the game goes, this isn't going to be a 6-0 sweep. It's going to be close, but it's going to be tense to say the least for both of them right now. XL are thinking, we're back in it. You know, we've won the capture the flag. Let's finalize things. Let's hit that number 1 spot and let's send these Spanish down to number 10.
Yeah, I mean, this is determining the top and the bottom of the standings. That's a huge game. When I say game, it is evac. It's going to be playing out on a map we haven't seen played out in Search and Destroy just yet in the World League, and now is our chance to see just how this one is going to go down. I mean, yes, you can see the little uplink there. That's not how it's going to be playing out. Not so much. Like, is it fair to assume that wall running nature of evac will be less relevant on Search and Destroy?
A lot less relevant because purely we saw how many people fall off. You don't want to fall off when there is only one life involved in this, because yes, you know, you can have that element of, you know, being sneaky, but it's a risk. You know, if you're like me, you're gonna fall off.
Yeah.
I'd like to think with the afterburner that people are using now, that people have kind of got used to it and got a lot better, but I'm sure we'll see it. Nevertheless, we'll have to wait and see. Sure, an entertaining game is coming right up.
I do love that idea, actually. Hang on, big fan of like Search and Destroy. Like you rule out the idea of a wall run route. Like you're like, there's no way they're going to have the audacity to try something like that. And then they proceed to flank you with that wall run. And I mean, you know UFOs.
I was going to say, when you said flanking, I was like, oh, hang on a second, I remember
that ridiculous. I want to watch that back like now. If that was possible, we would just be seeing UFOs massive. It was 4 kills in like what, 10 seconds.
The flank was great, and he picked up 2, and I was like, that's the round solidified, because, you know, he's got the 2 pieces still alive. But it's when he kind of elevated to the left and took down the guy on the top rock, and then he proceeded to trade the kill in B bomb site. For me, it was a game-changing round, you know, to state the obvious, if you like. But now, you know, what was going through XL's mind, like, how is this guy behind us? Like, that's ridiculous. How have we let him slip the net? I'm sure they'll have learned the lesson on that one, and they'll be watching their flank a little bit closer here on evac. But you've said it already, we've not seen this here in the COD World League. We've not seen it panned out. This is the first time.
So let's talk ban and protect.
Okay.
That's what we're going into next. And some of the things that I have to consider, we are probably not going to be seeing any M8. We've seen, you know, that was just, it works for Giants. They took it away, and it works. We've already seen what it does to Nolson and Brain to a less extent.
For me, it's M8 and Vesper. Evac notoriously is a lot close quarters, so you're going to see the Vesper maybe. But Search and Destroy, people are a lot more defensive. They sit back, they'll have their M8s, they'll be on those power positions, and it's going to come into, are they both protected? Is one banned? Are they both banned? That's for the choice of the guys here to make. That is not ours. However, you're going to see your standard high caliber, your rapid fire, and your specialists as well, your overdrives. The thing is, if a team had their choice, they'd probably ban like 10 things each. You know,
Oh, yeah.
10 things each on
100%.
their team. They only have 4 to choose, and that's why you've got to choose the right one. Is it team-based? Are you aiming at one player? You've got to take that time to research their teams, and this is what I said, Call of Duty, it's all about the brain.
Yep. It most
Not
definitely
about the
is.
player, it's all about thinking. That's what I'm trying to say.
And I mean, that there's kind of what happens when you find the best players, like the real like standout individuals, those all-stars. Those are the players that have the brain and the aim.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
That's what that happens there. Now, Giants versus XL. It has quite literally been a tooth and nail battle between these guys, just scratching to try and determine 2 very different things. XL for the top of the standings, and for Giants to get off that bottom. And you know what I said? We said we weren't going to be seeing an M8 or Vespa. Both of them being protected this time.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the Spanish there. They protected it so quickly, and Nolson probably thinking, shall I take it away from them, the M8, but I'll be taking it away from my team.
He wants it for himself.
He's, yeah, he wants it for, obviously, I mean, Brain, Quick. I mean, they're all very versatile players. They can all use it at their given time. Now, Heatwave, are we going to see the active camo going to be taken away? Are we going to see that overdrive in play? With rapid fire and high caliber being in pretty much all of these, it limits it. Ooh, kinetic armor. Okay.
Sohor's taken that away from XL. And, I mean, that surely you would now anticipate that we're going to be seeing no more specialists. If we see a third, that's going to be relatively unusual. Like, maximum, we usually see 2.
Yeah, 2. Yeah.
So, I mean, that means active camo is going to be available for this one, but still tight.
But overdrive
being
as
made.
well.
Overdrive could be making an appearance. And we say that, of course, the usual suspects are going to be showing up. HCXD, Quicker, not interested in that one. The SVG did get taken away. Overkill available, though.
Overkill's available. You know, you can rock a Locust with a,
Like
you know,
thermal,
an
yeah.
SMG. You know, you can do. SVG ban is a big one because SVG is the sniper rifle. It always gets your one-shot kills. Sometimes with a Locust, it's a little bit inconsistent.
I think it's something about like above the belly button with a Locust, and SVG is like above like the thigh.
Yeah, that's
It
it.
like,
That
actually
really
explains
is.
it in the description. It's something quite ridiculous, but. We are going to be seeing some active camos make an appearance. No surprises there. S&D, we get our glitch plays as well, which is always nice. It's going to be Nolson picking that one up. And I mean, you saw Heatwave taken away. What's our final expectation? Overdrive for them. They've already got it. Vision Pulse. Now on Search and Destroy.
Sneaky.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, Nolson, I like the way he's... And I don't want to put a dampener on it, but he's almost accepted that, you know, his Annihilator wasn't working. So he switched things up. He switched it up last game, and now he switched it up again here for the Search and Destroy. Interestingly enough, there, though, abilities obviously ruling the roost, if you like, no weapons being chosen either side. Overdrive either side. We see active camo, psychosis. Just glitch versus vision pulse is the only difference here. But obviously, as we go through those rosters for one last time here, for day number 1, the Giants from Spain, Methods, UFO, Tohor, and Legend opting for the Psychosis, Active Camouflage, Overdrive, and Vision Pulse.
Yeah, and for XL, we're going to be seeing that one response to Vision Pulse was Nolson on Glitch, and then mirror matchup Zed with Psychosis, Brain bringing the active camo, and Quicker, I mean, quite appropriately, picking up the Overdrive.
Yeah. He is the man where you do not want to be giving space to. He will run rings around you. The reactions, you know, he's much like your Gataga. He'll play in a bit high sensitivity, maybe not like Gataga, but he's the one where you've got to expect the unexpected with him. That's what I was trying to say.
I mean, and that does kind of create this paranoia, especially when you're on the defensive team, where you end up watching angles that you wouldn't normally watch, and that's the Quicker effect, because you're sitting there and you're like, well, no one normally pushes this, but hang on a second, I'm against Quicker, and he has Overdrive especially. There's all this kind of paranoia that surrounds you and clouds you, and sometimes can most definitely make a bit of a dent in what otherwise would be a solid defense. We'll be seeing those. We're going to be jumping into this one. It has been a best of 5, and we are into that 5th. We'll see if they can live up to that best word a little later on, as we have seen it was 11 rounds on Search and Destroy the first time these two teams clashed on Search and Destroy. Let's see if we can get treated to another.
Yeah, as the time ticks away. Score streaks won't be effective too much. Nothing changed, really. It was just a HC car, obviously taken away from them. And now we go into the game. Giants versus XL. It's going to go down to the wire. I am praying, I'm hoping for this to go all the way to around 11. It would satisfy my needs. You know, Call of Duty is very entertaining. But, you know, when you get that game 5, 5-5, round 11, it's just, I love it. It's awesome.
Unrivaled, that's for certain. As we're going to be seeing then how evac does play out. Don't forget those timers as well. as we have seen both Giants and XL favor a bit of a slower play sometimes on the attack, and so you've got to keep in mind those 5 seconds necessary to get that bomb down. 7.5 in the clutch situations to get the defuse as well, as time can be your best friend in Search and Destroy, or it can be your arch nemesis. It's time, though, for us to jump in. Let's have a quick look at what is being wielded. It looks like it's going to be the Vesper and M8 show after those protects.
Yeah, Vespers and M8s all-round, all-plate players. Now, what is this? All 4 players through mid-map. This is going to cause chaos.
This does feel quite reminiscent of their Infection play, and UFO's already drawn blood. Nolson now down. He's forced to watch on the spectator cam as it does come down to what Giants want to do with this. UFO's kind of just happy to linger, and they've got the bomb in there as well, trying to expect a push, and Quicker just falls straight into their trap. Another brain gone as well, and Giants are completely throwing XL off. Zed is in the kind of quite a power position, actually. He could come around behind them. Then I do see a back turned to him.
He's gone the opposite way, though, and the bomb has directed towards A. A has gone down, and for me, it was all a numbers game at the start of this. Zed is going to try and do everything he can. 35 seconds left on the clock. You'll see one.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be enough because he gets kind of roped around from Legend, and Giants pick up round 1 here in Search and Destroy, and in quite a stylish fashion. Great to see already a little bit of innovation from the Spanish.
Yeah. Something you don't see every day. You see kind of an A push or a B push. The Spanish, they do a nothing push. They just get right in your face, straight through mid, like you said. For me, very ballsy play. Paid off for them. Giants 1-0.
Yeah, and now you see XL like, okay, none of us got a kill. Absolutely 0 of us made an impact. Who's going to be that man to pick up the first kill? But also, you know, what are we going to do in response? It looks like they're going to be copying them a little bit. 3 players pushing straight on in through middle, and Tohor's ready for it. Takes down Zed. Brain does manage to trade that one out, and that's necessary in order for success. Brain with a second with that Vesper. But where on earth has Methods come from? Brain with a third.
Yeah, can Brain get the ace here? Still has a minute left, and he has his teammate Nolson right behind him. Gonna jump on board with UFO, though, because he's 2-0. And he is in the 1 versus 2. Tough ass to do, but bringing up that mini-map, look at the rotation. They're both going to A. They're going to come head-to-head.
UFO is in a prime position as well. He's just got to play the waiting game. Patience, not necessarily his forte. He's going to get caught. Nolson catches the toes of the Spanish SMG, and that's going to be the equalizer, 1-1.
Yeah, it is literally... They're going toe-to-toe with each other. They're coming head-to-head. It's coming down to the way. I can see this going 2-2, 3-3, 4-4.
Yeah,
I really
I wouldn't
can.
be surprised.
And that's the way we all want it to go. But as it stands, going into round number 3, 1-1. Jumping on board with the Spanish, who will be on the attack. Will they go for this dominant middle push?
I think we're going to be... I'm at least expecting something different. This looks like they're going for the outside area. Can be vulnerable to a fast peak, but you better believe they're ready for that with the Semtex. Just get thrown out, and that's going to be clearing the area for UFO as he comes on in. Holding the back is going to be Method, but instead we'll jump to the
Who's this on the wall run?
Look at
it's
that.
Quicker.
Quicker's coming right round behind them. This could be the play we've been asking for. I think he may have cut it a little short. No, he's good, and he didn't make a noise either.
That's the afterburner.
This is afterburner in action. This is Quicker in action. We said it's a highly unlikely, but there's no way they're going to be expecting this play.
As we say, that does get taken down. For me, I've got to say, when I was watching him then, I mean, he's going down to a 2 versus 2. As I was watching Quicker, he seemed to fail his wall run. He saw like, yeah, and I think it threw him off guard. But now, again, it's 1-1, 2 versus 2. All even. Stevens, 45 seconds left on the clock.
Giants have a decision to make right now. Legend and Method still stand, and they're quite literally in limbo between the two. Looks like the decision's been made, though, as he is charging towards A, and that's perfect. A great decision, little does he know. But the 2 defenders, XL, have rotated towards B, and Legend's holding steady on the other side of the map, and you can see just how quickly Nolson can rotate.
He's still here.
Oh, Legend?
Just gives a twit. There we go.
He's alive. He's alive. And we can instead worry a little bit more about what Methods is doing on the other side of the game.
Yeah, the thing is for Legend now is they won't expect him coming this way, and it really could play into the hands of the Spanish. But as Zed goes next to the bomb, he's gonna find someone else. No, one he's taking... Oh, I'm jumping on board with someone who's dead. Now, Nolfin, 1 versus 2.
He's going to be trying to do something, but Legend catches his head, and Giants, that worked out so beautifully for them, as that's going to be a headshot and the second round. Legend, you can see that double both in the kill cam. That's one, and then decides to just take himself off the map. He knows he's got the kill. He's gone. I'll see you later, mate, as he's going on a vacation. Oh, no. Oh, his toes did just land, but that was the end of that, and that's going to be 2-1.
Good job. We could see it in the kill command. Decided to spectate someone who was lying down, cold on the floor, but...
Giving the dead men a chance. You know,
got to give him some love, haven't you?
Yeah.
Oh, strong. This is a strong push towards A.
This is kind of putting all your eggs in one basket, though.
Yes.
They have to be catched. As soon as kind of Giants get a whiff of this, they pick up the scent, things can go horribly wrong. Zed does draw blood, and that's UFO. What a great early frag to pick up, but quickly traded. Legend finds Zed's head. Now Zed is dead.
Zed is dead. Watching the flank. The thing is, like you said, they've put it all into way. And for me, they've not got the bomb down. But the Quicker gets it down, as we say. Nolson, is he still watching that flank? He is covering it. Brain ahead of schedule here. He's pushing forward. 35 bullets in the chamber. For me now, it's the next pick wins because it's all about the numbers game. Oh, Brain just tagging more players up one by one. Nolson, I believe, is going to find one. Quicker has picked him up, and now 2 versus 2 answered back.
It's just onto Toho and Legend for the retake, and they've got one each. Now all onto Nolson. 20 seconds, and he calms himself. A quick exhale. I think someone just slipped under his crosshair, though. Toho's found it. You said the numbers game, but Giants laugh that one off as the defuse has plenty of time to come in, and the overdrive is available for that next attacking round. Giants, this could be their lead that they've been hunting for.
Yeah, he's close to the vision pulse as well. Giants have just gone and taken that first little baby step to this victory. 3-1. Of course, it is nowhere near finished just yet, but Toho on the final kill. Oh, look at that COD timing.
If Nolson would have just turned his back.
Yeah, Nolson could have held out just for another second longer, but he obviously had to come in and check that defuse. Wasn't going down, though. 3-1 going into round number 5 here. In fact, we're going to stay on board with the Spanish. See if they can extend Legend 5-1. Oh,
yeah,
Toho.
where is that?
He's on an overdrive.
I thought he might. He's going straight on in over the roof of SOS, and he's trying to find that initial pick. I think he caught a glimpse of a head instead, though. He could just be making the call to his team, like, guys, get the bomb down. There's no one there. No defensive players are there. Look at that. Excel invested so many resources into keeping B safe. That does mean they're going to be coming around the flank. The call will be made due to UFO's early departure from this round. But no, 3 players still standing, and they even have Psychosis if Methods is having trouble with numbers. Yeah,
this frag could be a big one here as Methods put it down. Doesn't get a hit marker. Has seen 2, though. He uses the drones. They all run the wrong way, though. That's not handy for him, but Legend picking up 1. 3 versus 3 now.
See how much more you can do. Legend just seems to be so effective in these kind of clutch situations. He's going to get another one as it's just 1 apiece. 1, 2, 3, and Giants are sitting at 4-1. Could this be the first win on the board for the Spanish? Can they take that undefeated record away from XL? All these questions could be answered in just 2 rounds.
Yeah, as I say, the first baby step is taken. Now the second. They've only got 2 more to go. Of course, it is 1st to 6. XL are not out of it here. Do not rule them out. Quick as 1 and 5. Not having the best game. Let's give him a little bit of love. Let's see what he can do. He is the bomb carrier. Looks like they're heading through the middle.
Yeah, kind of going back to what worked in the past for them. They kind of took what worked from the Giants and made it better. But look at that. The flash and concussions are being raining out. And he's going to be seeing Methods with a quick double. Pockets it. And he's still breathing as well. Still in a position to pick up the ace. As we do see Brain and Zed still kicking about. Looks like Brain isn't quite going to be finding the final bullets necessary. He seems to be having this problem where he's tagging up everyone and not quite connecting the final bullet. Zed, however, isn't having the same problem. As now 60 seconds and we're back to a 2v2.
2v2. Zed's picked up a huge kill there.
Damn.
Popping this Psychosis. Toho picks him out of nowhere.
Unforgivable. Now comes down to Brain. 1v1. Legend isn't going to make it happen, and Brain just a little too quick. Very impressive stuff from him, anticipating the flank. 4-2 in these two frags. Excuse me, like, hard to believe that Toho went down, as did Legend, in that one, and that's going to be a very important round, steering clear of that 5th and scary 5.
Yeah, I mean, 5-1, 4-2, it's literally different ends of the spectrum, but only 1 round aside. For me, this is where, as we jump on board with the Spanish, if they can get this next round, XL need to win this round for me.
This is the telltale round. We'll be finding out because already XL have taken a leap and a bound into the right start of the round. Toho quick though onto Zed. Zed showing a little bit too much of his face was necessary. Of course, they have to just keep that bomb from going down. You don't need to be going for these early exchanges. As Brain and Quicker, the 2 remaining for XL. You said this is already a crucial round for XL, and Brain's going to go down. Great positioning from Toho. His MR6 sounded like an automatic SMG there. As now it does just come down to Quicker to keep XL in the running. This would, of course, be the 5th for Giants. Just 1 away from them, and it's going to be easily secured by Toho with his rifle. 5-2, and XL are on their last legs.
Yeah, is this it? Is this the round where the Spanish, they get their first victory in the league against a 2-0 team? Quicker, they're falling to the hands of Toho, captain of the Spanish squad, leading them to the victory at the moment. But again, XL are not out of this. 4 rounds back-to-back, it's doable. And we're going to stay on board with XL to see if they can get back in the game.
XL on the attack. It does come down to what they choose to do in this round. Giants, they are simply there to receive. what XL choose to bring, and this is, oh, I thought they were considering a push out towards the enemy spawn. In fact, they are. Look at this, Quick is coming right round behind them. Let's have a look at this one. He's taking the bomb as well, wrapping him straight on round into tent room. There's no way UFO would expect that. Overdrive is available. What on earth is going on there? Legend does manage to find it, defends himself with that one. Standing stuff with the dart as he's continuing to fly around with this one, gathering as much information as he can.
Yeah, he did. He has been taken down, though. It's a 2 versus 2 right now. Legend, I've got to say, very, very silly position to bring out the dart. Just sat in spawn. I'm not a fan of that at all. But as time does tick, I'm going to go on board with someone from XL, as that dart's not going to find anyone as they hide away. Active camo is available for Brain. Glitch nearly available for Nolson.
Now, I mean, he's almost kind of counting on Glitch if he did manage to get it in order to acquire the clutch. But Toho and Methods are standing in his way of maintaining his team's survival. Brain does have active camo. He chooses to use it. It looks like they are going to be worming their way towards that B site. They need to get that bomb down, though.
Just on his left.
Haven't got really too much time to get this bomb down. If they can stop the plant, things could get pretty dicey for XL, but instead Nolson's going to be holding this. No, he slides on in. That's big from Methods. Traded out, but now time did start to go down. Toho trades it out. Giants have done it. I got so damn confused, but Toho picks it up with his 12th kill. A huge brawl over on towards that B site, but we do have a victor, and Giants have broken the curse.
Yeah, for me, the bomb was going down. He was very lucky to still get that bomb plant because he slid in at the time where he knew if he killed the bomb planter, then they couldn't plant it. He got it down, but we saw him just go the wrong way here. Toho finalizing things. We saw Toho literally light up on uplink. We've seen him on Capture the Flag do the same now. Search and Destroy dropping 12 kills. Really, for me, he's the man of the series.
Yeah, I mean, undoubtedly. I think his 30 with the when he was playing, was it Tempest and XR2?
Yep.
He brought that one in. That was really the most kind of eye-catching play from him. But I think just in general, that, my friends, was a series to remember. Giants have done it, though, and it was no easy feat. The XL did not make that a quick W for the guys from Spain. Instead, though, they had to work tooth and nail and managed just in the nick of time to make that Search and Destroy interesting on EVAC.
Yeah, the Search and Destroy actually ending. What am I trying to say?
6-2?
No, it was a 4-point game on Search and Destroy. The hard point was 3-point game. You know, the CTF, we saw it going tooth and nail, and even down to the uplink was a 3-point game. The whole way through, the five-match series was so close, and I think it is only fair to kind of go to a game 5. Both teams, you know, performed today, but for me, I've got to say a huge congratulations to the Spanish there, getting their feet firmly on the ground and taking that first victory in the league.
Yeah, and of course, if they had conceded the loss there, they'd have been sitting right slap bang in 10th place. Due to the other games not going down just yet. Instead, they survive, and that's going to, of course, change our standings. Let's have a quick look at them. You can see over on the Giants side of things, they've gone from the 10th to 8th, as they're going to be happy to have that one under their belt and join LDLC, excuse me, LDLC in that position. What's that got left for us, I hear you ask? That was just game 2 in our 5-game day. There's so much more to be delivered. We're going to take a kind of quick break. I think we definitely need one before we do dive into another, because that was such a spectacle to behold. Next game coming up, though, will be Epsilon versus TCM, and we're going to be seeing if that one can go to an equally as exciting affair. And that's going to be coming up in about, what, 5-6 minutes time as the players do load on in. We're going to load on out and take a quick break. Get a hold of us on social media while we do so, though, at COD World League, hashtag CWL PS4, and let us know what you thought of that series. It was great from us when we're sitting. For now, though, taking 5. See you soon.